last time it was a complete different scenario. There was abundance of water in Karnataka, but this time around, Sneha, just a few weeks back, Siddaramaiah even wrote a letter to the centre asking them to tweak the parameters required to, tweak the parameters required to declare drought. He said that the current parameters, Karnataka is not really fitting well into that particular parameter, leading us to not declare a drought. But that is not, but that is not the scenario. There has been severe shortage of water this time, and we really need to tweak the parameters required to declare drought to a state. So that was a letter given out by Siddaramaiah indicating that yes, there is water shortage over here. It is not like we have had enough monsoon season. It's not like we've had enough rains this time. It's really been tepid this time, and that's the reason why we cannot release this much quantity of water to Tamil Nadu.
Naga, getting in all the details, and also for our viewers, just show us what the protesters really are saying right now. Of course, protests by BJP and JDS workers there that have broken out in Mandya. Just try to get in a word also from them about what they have to say about this long pending controversy.
Over here, they have been here for the last 1 hour. They have been staging a dharna. They are saying that we are not going to budge down. We are not going to get up from this place unless and until our requirement is being fulfilled. Saibre, ನೀವೀಗ ಬಂದು 1 ಗಂಟೆ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ನಿಮ್ಮ requirement ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್. 1 ಗಂಟೆ ಕಾಲದಿಂದ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. Tell us about your requirements, sir. What exactly are you protesting for?
ಕಾವೇರಿ ಬೇಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಕನ್ನಂಬಾಡಿ ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಬೇಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ಎಕರೆ ಕಬ್ಬು, ಭತ್ತ, ತೆಂಗು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ.
Lakhs of acres of coconut and sugarcane.
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನೀರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ಒಣಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ 1 TMC ನೀರು, ಸುಮಾರು 11,000ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ 24 ಗಂಟೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ 1 TMC ನೀರು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ನೀರು ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನಮಗೆ ಜೀವಜಲ. ಈ ಜೀವಜಲನೇ ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರಾಣ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕೆಲಸನ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಸರ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ರಿಲೀಸಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್, ನಿಮಗೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಶಾರ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ನಿಮಗೆ ಭತ್ತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳೆಯಕ್ಕೆ
ಈಗ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಈಗಿರೋ ನಿಂತಿರೋ ಬೆಳೆ ತಗೊಳಕಾಯ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆ ನಾಟಿ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ನಿಂತಿರೋ ಬೆಳೆ ತಗೊಳಕಾಗದಿರೋ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿಲಿ ಈಗ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ನಮಗೆ ರಕ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾವೇರಿ ನೀರನ್ನ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲುವೆಗೆ ನೀರು ಹರಿಸೋ ಮೂಲಕ ಇಲ್ಲಿಯ ನೀರಿನ ಕೊರತೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ತಿಳಿಸುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಫಲ ಆಗವ್ರೆ. DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ರೈತರು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಉದ್ದಟತನದ ಪರಮಾವಧಿ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಯ ಶಾಸಕರು ಡಬಲ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ದ್ವಿಪಾತ್ರ. ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮಂಡ್ಯ ಜಿಲ್ಲೆಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರೈತರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನೀರು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಚಳವಳಿ, ಹೋರಾಟ, ಪ್ರತಿಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಕೊಡೋದು. DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗಿ ತಲೆ ಕೆರ್ಕ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
Sneha, DK Shivakumar few weeks back he made a statement that if farmers are protesting, let them go to court and protest. That was the statement made by DK Shivakumar, and the farmers over here, they are also they are strongly opposing DK Shivakumar's statement, saying that was a very foolish line to come out of a deputy chief minister's mouth, is what just we heard from the farmer. And he also added, saying that we really can't afford to let go of 12,000 to 15,000 cusecs of water every day. When we grow sugarcane, we grow paddy, we grow coconut, we grow arecanuts. When we have so many crop requirements that require so much water, how can you give water to another state when we don't have water? Is a kind of argument that is a kind of argument that we are seeing from Mandya farmers. Let me also add one more point here, Sneha. Kaveri originates from Karnataka. It originates from Kodagu. It's called Kaveri. That is where Kaveri originates from. So this, so the main point of argument is that when this river originates from our state, let's first fulfill our water requirements before giving it to another state. That's the kind of argument that we are seeing from the farmers over here and BJP as well.
Also put this into perspective, Anaga. What is the Tamil Nadu government now saying about the latest protests that have broken out, about the concerns that have been raised over the last few days or so?
Sneha, Tamil Nadu has maintained that they have this region called the Kaveri Delta region, which is a rice bowl for the entire Tamil Nadu. It is in this particular region, where paddy is grown. That paddy serves for the, almost the entire Tamil Nadu state. They derive paddy from this particular Kaveri Delta. And unfortunately, in this particular delta, there is lack of rainfall. Throughout the year, there is not much rainfall that happens in Kaveri Delta. And that is why they are fully dependent on the water that comes, from the Kaveri river, from Mekedatu as well, from Kaveri river. The water which Karnataka releases, they are dependent on Kaveri water to fulfill their paddy requirements in Kaveri Delta. And they are saying that we need water to fulfill our requirements as well, because Kaveri Delta is a rice bowl for the entire state of Tamil Nadu. And that is the main argument put forth by Tamil Nadu.
Anaga, be with us. Just coming back to you in a moment from now. We have a reaction also that is coming in. Let's go straight to that.
So right now you all have gathered here in large numbers protesting against the release of Kaveri water. Tell us about the objective of your protest.
See, without consultations of the DK Shivakumar to anybody, they have not called the meeting, all-party meeting. Simply, Tamil Nadu government filed a petition on 13th of August. Immediately, DK Shivakumar from 14th onwards, every day 50,000 cusecs water of release the KRS dam from to Tamil Nadu. This decision is against of the Karnataka farmers. Karnataka Congress government taken the farmers against the decision. That's why we urge to Congress party and the government to stop the water.
Anaga continues to be with us, getting us more details on this story. Anaga, for our viewers who've just joined us, put this into perspective as to why BJP and JDS workers are out on the streets. Of course, farmers have raised several concerns about this. Talk to us a little about how this matter or this controversy really is affecting them.
You know, Sneha, the BJP and the JDS are protesting against the release of Kaveri water from Karnataka to the Tamil Nadu. They are saying that per day 15,000 cusecs of water is released to Tamil Nadu, which amounts to about 1.15 TMC. And they are saying that when there is shortage of rainfall, we really cannot afford to let go of so many, of so much cusecs of water to Tamil Nadu when we don't have enough water. And the farmers in Karnataka as well, they are saying that when we don't have enough water to drink, we don't have enough water. And we also grow sugarcane, paddy, rice, areca nuts and so many other crops which require gallons of water. So when we have such high water requirements, how can you give away to water to another state without fulfilling our, without fulfilling our requirements? Is the kind of argument that we are seeing from Karnataka. But Tamil Nadu, on the other hand, in that letter that Minister Durai Murugan wrote to the centre, he mentioned that Karnataka is deliberately doing this. Yes, Karnataka does have enough water supply, but they're deliberately not releasing water was the sort of accusation that was levelled by Durai Murugan in his letter that was written to the centre. Apart from that, even Chief Minister M.K. Stalin also wrote a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying that Kaveri Delta is a rice ball for Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu Makkal are entirely dependent on what is grown in this Kaveri Delta, but unfortunately in this particular region there is lack of rainfall throughout the year, and hence the crops over there, they're fully dependent on the water that comes out of Karnataka, and that is why we need water release. We need Kaveri water release too. Was a requirement that was put forth by Tamil Nadu, but Karnataka has said that we have to abide by the law of the land. The Kaveri committee in Delhi has directed us to release 10 TMCs of water for 15 days, and that is what we are abiding by. We cannot go against them, was sort of argument put forth by the Karnataka Congress. But the opposition BJP is saying that is saying that the Congress government should have given a tough fight at the Kaveri committee. Just because Tamil Nadu knocked the doors of Supreme Court and filed a petition, you should not have let go of this easily. You should have given a tough fight, is what we heard from the opposition. Well, here protesters have also gathered in large numbers. Again, let me just try to get a word from PC. Sir, Karnataka government is saying that they have to follow the law of the land. They cannot go against it, is what DK Shivakumar is saying. They have been directed by the Kaveri committee to release 10 cusecs of water for 15 days.
See, they have put application. Tamil Nadu government has put application in the Supreme Court. They have accepted the application. They have not given any decision yet. Why these people are in a hurry to release the water? That is our question to the government. Every day 15,000 cuses of water they are leaving. It is only their Congress High Command is putting pressure on the state government. These people are dancing to their tune, that's all.
Sir, but then Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, he wrote a letter to Prime Minister Narendra Modi saying that Kaveri Delta is fully dependent on what water is coming from Karnataka. So even they are dependent on us.
Anaga, getting in those details from Mandya and Karnataka, where BJP and JDS essentially is protesting as far as the Kaveri river water matter is concerned. An all-party meeting also on Wednesday that has been called by the Karnataka government to look into solutions or possible solutions as far as this big controversy is concerned. Moving into this shocker really from the national capital, where a Delhi government officer, a Babu, with the Delhi Commission for Women Department, raped and impregnated a 14-year-old girl. The man on your screens, Premoday Khaka, holds the position of Deputy Director of Delhi government's Department of Women and Child Development. He raped his friend's minor daughter several times between 2020 and 21. The official who raped the minor was her guardian. Not just this, when the survivor discovered that she was pregnant, she confided in the deputy director's wife, but instead of reporting the crime, his wife gave her abortion pills. His wife has also been booked for criminal conspiracy for her alleged involvement. After India Today's relentless reporting and a big impact, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal suspended the Babu from the post of the deputy director and has sought a report on the same.
ये हमारे पास थाना बुराड़ी के इलाके के चलते नॉर्थ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक कंप्लेंट मिलती है जिसमें जो हमारी विक्टिम है 17 इयर्स ओल्ड गर्ल हैं, इनके फादर की डेथ हुई है 2020 में अक्टूबर में। उसके बाद इनका जो ये मास कम्यून होता है वहाँ पर इनके एक अंकल लगते हैं, ये मामा ही कहती है उनको, तो उनके पास इनकी मदर ने, क्योंकि वो घर में थोड़ा शी सबमिट्स ऑफ की कोई टेंशन वगैरह थी, तो वहाँ भेजा। 2-3 महीने का उन दिनों का नवंबर, दिसंबर, जनवरी का जो है गलत एक्ट का ये वहाँ शिकायत रही है। ये जो इसकी जो मामी ये कह सकते हैं, जो इनके जो लोकल गार्डियन थे उनकी वाइफ, इसको इसने बताया, तो शी टोल्ड ऑफ द रॉन्ग एक्ट ऑफ हर लोकल गार्डियन, जो हमारा अभी अक्यूज्ड है, जो लेटर फाउंड आउट टू बी डिप्टी डायरेक्टर इन वुमेन चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट में है। वो जो उनकी वाइफ थी उन्होंने इसको अबॉर्शन पिल्स भी दी हैं। उसके बाद में ये इसके मदर को इसने बताया, तो वो यहाँ अपने घर पे ले आई। थोड़ा स्ट्रेस, पैनिक, टेंशन में रहती थी। अभी ऑफ लेट अगस्त में फर्स्ट वीक में जब ज़्यादा पैनिक अटैक हुए तो इनको हॉस्पिटल में लेकर गई इनकी मदर। तो डायग्नोस के दौरान जो साइकेट्रिस्ट हैं उन्होंने जब अपना इनकी काउंसलिंग और इनकी जो मीडिएशन करी है उसमें ये बात निकल के आई है। डॉक्टर साहब ने बुरा कंफर्म करते हुए ये बताया है कि इस तरीके से इनका एक्ट हुआ है। इनकी स्टेटमेंट पे हमने पॉक्सो और जो रिलेटिव सेक्शंस हैं उसके चलते इस पे केस दर्ज किया है।
The Delhi Commission for Women Chief Swati Maliwal, in fact, has spoken to India Today, talking about this entire episode, says she did not know about this case until it came to light today. She's pinned the blame on the Delhi police, asking us as to why they have not arrested this Babu yet. India Today grilled Swati Maliwal. Listen in.
I think it's a very scary case, and strongest action needs to be taken against him. I think first and foremost Delhi police has to be held accountable as to why no arrests have been made. So we have issued a notice to the Delhi police. We are also issuing a notice to the government because we wish to understand, one is of course this means a person needs to be suspended, which the government has already done, but at the same time we wish to understand as to where all was he posted in his 20 or plus years of service, and what all sensitive posts did he handle, and what kind of complaints were received against him during this process, because it's very crucial to reinvestigate these matters in the light of this current very horrific case that has come up. You see, this girl is a 16-year-old girl. She's a minor. She has been raped as well as when she got pregnant. There are very serious allegations that this man and his wife tried to abort the baby, which has resulted in the complete deterioration of the health of the girl. So this is a very serious case. This man, who is working in the Women and Child Development Ministry, is supposed to be the protector of women and girls in the capital as well as in the country. There are women and girls who approach him in order to make sure that their works are done, and he must be having access to a lot of sensitive places, probably even shelter homes. So his conduct needs to be examined, and at the same time I really feel that some mechanism has to be created, because a government officer, these are permanent posts. That person has become a government officer probably 2 decades back. What action was taken on a yearly basis? What kind of an investigation was done? Whether this this person is even prepared to handle the sensitive role that he has been given.
Survivor in this case is still under, trauma, shock, and still under observation. How do you think that we should pursue this now, this case particularly, and is there a need of the hour to, to run some programs to create awareness, to gender sensitize at least government employees, and particularly, who are related to women and child, communities?
No, absolutely. There is a very urgent need to make sure that all officers, especially those working in sensitive departments, they need to be gender sensitized. But I don't think that a person who has a criminal mindset, somebody who can actually rape a minor girl, can be improved by any gender sensitization. So I think that there needs to be much deeper checks, because when you issue notices to governments or to the police for that matter, and you ask them that how many gender sensitization programs have you done, there is a long list of these gender sensitization programs which are probably many times done just for formality. But how does that lead to making sure that not a criminal minded person is not appointed in sensitive positions? So I think a mechanism needs to be done, and we are investigating the matter.
वो कहाँ थी जब ये सब हो रहा था, उनका खुद का एम्प्लॉय ये कर रहा था? ये बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन दिल्ली सरकार के ऊपर भी आते हैं और बहुत सारे प्रश्न हमें भी पूछने हैं दिल्ली सरकार और डीसीडब्ल्यू से भी।
सर, कॉग्निजेंस लिया है अब दिल्ली एनसीडब्ल्यू ने, तो नोटिस किसको इशू की गई और उनसे नोटिस में किस तरह का जवाब मांगा गया? देखिए, एक पुलिस को और डब्ल्यूसीडी दोनों को लिखा है, डब्ल्यूसीडी दिल्ली को हमने दोनों को लिखा है, लेकिन एक इंक्वायरी होगी जिसमें मेरे जो मेंबर हैं वो खुद जाके बच्ची से भी बात करेंगे और इसके ऊपर पूरे नीचे तक जाना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि ऑफिसर को बचाने की कोशिश की गई, ऐसा न्यूज़ में आ रहा है अभी तक। Allegedly they were trying to save. I'm saying allegedly because I'm not sure. It will be sure after the inquiry. So if people were saving, we have to know that why people from the government were saving him. Is the names for the committee which is going to investigate from NCW side?
I'm just working on it because media is continuously calling me. I've not been able to work on it, but I'm working. Within few minutes, I will be sending somebody.
Ma'am, you can just brief us about the initial details of the case and the notice issued in English also.
See, this horrific incident came in light today morning only, and I'm really shocked that the person who was involved in saving and in empowering women, he was raping this young girl from last 2 years. And he is an employee of WCD Delhi government. Shocked to know that Delhi government was sleeping on this incident as he was keeping this young girl illegally. He didn't adopt her, and DCW also just give notices to the police and does nothing instead of working on their own employees. They are just pointing out at fingers at others.
But DCW is an organization which generally takes cognizance of other states' incidences also, but
where they are not supposed to take. She holidays outside and just talk to the media, does nothing about anything. She's not serious about anything except talking to media. And today, for the first time, I'm pointing out because I'm really angry that this person was involved with DCW and WCD Delhi, and they did nothing from last 2 years.
Ma'am, there's one more thing is coming forward, that this officer was doing it repeatedly for past a long time, and still the DCW was not aware of it. So was there any suspicion that they are defending?
Allegedly, I've been hearing that she was trying to save. I'm not saying directly because I have to find out, but if this is true, this is really horrible.
Ma'am, is there any direct instructions?
BJP is torn into Arvind Kejriwal, accusing the government of the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi of shielding the accused Babu. Listen in.
DCW की चेयरमैन तो जहाँ भी कोई घटना होती है हर जगह आंसू बहाने पहुँच जाती हैं, लेकिन उनके ऑफिस के अंदर अगर ये घटना हो रही है और वो 1-1.5 साल से जो मुझे सुनने में आया 1-1.5 साल से ये घटना हो रही थी और ऐसे किया जा रहा था, तो उनको नॉलेज नहीं है, तो समझ में नहीं आई मुझे। तो उनके खिलाफ जल्द से जल्द चार्जशीट दाखिल हो और कोर्ट से भी गुजारिश है कि फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट के साथ के होने के बाद फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट में हो और इसको जल्द से जल्द बच्ची को न्याय मिले।
अपेक्षा करते हैं कि दिल्ली की पुलिस तुरंत उस पर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई करेगी और जो भी कानून की धाराएं और दफा बन सकती हैं उनके अंतर्गत उसको बुक करेगी।
आप बात कर लीजिए आम आदमी पार्टी के कौन से मंत्री के ऊपर रेप के चार्जेस नहीं है। किसी ने राशन कार्ड बनाने के नाम पे रेप किया तो किसी ने वीडियो बनाने के नाम पर रेप किया और किसी ने नौकरी देने के नाम पर रेप किया। वही अब उनके कर्मचारी भी कर रहे हैं। और अभी कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है अरविंद केजरीवाल जी उसको क्लीन चिट दें और कहें मैंने सारी जानकारी ली है, इसमें इस बच्ची का कसूर था, इसमें राजनीति थी पीछे। कोई बड़ी बात नहीं, अरविंद केजरीवाल ये भी स्टेटमेंट दें। लेकिन बहुत ही एक ऐसी घटना है, निंदनीय है, जिसके ऊपर सख्त कार्रवाई पुलिस कर रही है। लेकिन उनके गुरुओं के ऊपर भी कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए। अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड कंपनी के ऊपर भी कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
उनके नाक के सामने, आंख के सामने ये सारी चीजें होती रही और वो कुछ नहीं कर पाए। मतलब कि दिल्ली की जनता जो उनसे एक्सपेक्ट करती है कि दिल्ली सरकार उनके अधिकारों का हनन नहीं करेगी, दिल्ली सरकार का एक वरिष्ठ अधिकारी ये करता रहा एक बच्ची के साथ और उनको जानकारी नहीं थी। और जानकारी थी तो क्या कार्रवाई की? क्या उनके पास कोई शिकायत आई नहीं आई? और अगर उनके पास शिकायत आई तो उन्होंने ऐसे अफसर के ऊपर तुरंत कार्रवाई क्यों नहीं की? ये सारी चीजों का, सवालों का जवाब होना चाहिए।
It is horrific and it is appalling that an officer of the government in charge of protection and care of a minor has done something like this. And this also goes to show the impunity because he thought that he will not be caught, he will not be punished. And we don't know if this is the first child or there have been other children like this before this child. But what is even more appalling is that the wife does all of these things to the child to cover up the pregnancy, to cover up the rape that this man has committed. So both of them have to be, the case has to be filed on both. But most important, the question we need to ask, this could not have happened without the knowledge of other people in that office, in that home, in that shelter. So why is it that we are not taking cognizance of booking a case on all those people?
Big questions that we're asking right here. Have protectors in Delhi government turned predators? This was a Babu who was in fact supposed to be the caretaker of this child. How could Delhi's Babu's crime remain undetected for many, many months and years? Why no background check for Delhi Babus is the big question. Is there political patronage for the rapist Babu? Why is that? There was no reaction just yet. How was that? He's still absconding. Atishi, Swati Maliwal have in fact raised several issues in the past as well as far as women and child safety is concerned. Why have they not in fact looked into this matter? Why did they not do any homework when it came to this particular case? With that, it's time for a quick commercial break here. On the other side, we're getting you details of actor turned Neta Prakash Raj, who's mocked India's moon mission. He's posted a picture mocking ISRO scientists and the government. So why is the health influencer market booming like that? Why is that suddenly everybody wants to have an hourglass figure and look ripped? Our next report is analyzing the growth of the health and wellness influencer market.
अगर मैं ऐसे फील होता हूँ ना कि भाई है एनर्जी, फिर आ जाता है।
They are young, fast and furious, also very aggressive and excited to promote content around health and wellness. And why is the boom in the number of influencers in the health and wellness sector not really surprising? There is an ongoing massive shift in health and wellness awareness. People are prioritizing their well-being like never before. This has been a consequence of the pandemic, making us more than ever sit back and do a rethink of our lives and how well we want to lead it. The influencer industry's market value was estimated to amount to 28 billion Indian rupees by 2026. Digital fitness and well-being industry in India has grown tremendously in 2022. It has reached a staggering 29.4%, an increase from 2021 with over 151.7 million people in India using digital fitness devices and services. generating a total revenue of $7.5 billion. Well, this growth is due in part to the contribution of social media influencers who help brands in the industry gain recognition, recall and conversions. Fitness Instagrammers and YouTubers have a wide audience reach and play a significant role in the market's growth. Increased consumption of social media and digital content during the pandemic has definitely catalyzed the market for instant advice on health, wellness and fitness on social media from people sometimes whose core competency isn't fitness or wellness related, and trying to influence casually without deeper knowledge and not being responsible for the consequences is where the problem starts. In New Delhi, Sneha Mordani, Health Bureau, India Today TV.
Hello and welcome to Tech Today. My name is Ayush Alavadi and we are so glad to be back here in the Tech Today studios in Mumbai. We enjoyed our time in Korea, but it's time to get back to business with an India special show now. And for that, we've got Mela on Tech Today, an exclusive first look of the new JioBook. Can this actually make technology a lot more accessible and affordable? They didn't get right the first time, but is second time a charm for the JioBook? All that and a lot more on this action-packed episode of Tech Today. But before that, we need to unbox it. The new JioBook. Now, the company seems to be calling this India's first learning book. And I can understand where that comes from. We're going to delve deeper into some of the features, what the software is like, what the hardware is like. But first, let me tell you what it's like when you're holding it. It is as light as a feather. More importantly, it's got this really nice blue, I think Apple inspired in many ways. And it is a matte finish. Very good to hold, very good to grip. Honestly, doesn't seem like a laptop or a tablet or a learning book, if that's what they're calling it, which is under 20,000 rupees. Yes, spoiler alert, this is under 20,000 rupees. We actually want to ask the question whether this is a gimmick or a game changer on Tech Today. Now, when I said light as a feather, that's less than 1 kilograms. Well, I was kind of overstating it. 990 grams. And honestly, if you're traveling with this or you're in the mountains or on a beach somewhere, it's all right, but that's not the ideal use. Now, since this is your exclusive first look of the JioBook on Tech Today, and this is our initial impressions as well, I'm going to very quickly tell you about the specs of this particular device. Now, since we're talking about the hardware and design, before we get under the hood, let me tell you that it has a SIM tray right here. It also comes with other inbuilt ports like USB, HDMI and audio ports as well. You can slip in your 3.5mm jack, old school headphones and enjoy the show. You open it up and it has an infinity keyboard and this massive trackpad. An infinity keyboard means that the keys extend right till the end on using all the screen real estate. If you just forget the display and the specs, this looks and feels like a very premium device. But this is going to be my Shakespearean moment, which I will repeat throughout every section of this segment. This particular computer tablet learning book, let's just call it device, a Tech Today special, only costs 16,499 rupees. It goes on sale on August 5th, but the truth of the matter is that this is a device for the masses, for the underconnected or unconnected population.
We have some news just coming in. The Patna Atal Park has been renamed as Coconut Park. Bihar Mantri Tej Pratap renames the Atal Park, naming it to the Coconut Park. This was the Atal Park. BJP has slammed the Nitish Kumar government over the name change controversy. Nitish, remember, had served as a minister in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee cabinet. Rohit has more details in that story. Rohit, in fact, this renaming of the park, whatever way the government now is justifying it, is going to work the BJP, isn't it? What is the reason that is being given, and how is the BJP going to raise this matter further?
Well, the BJP is suggesting the renaming of the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Park, which is located in Kankar Bagh area in Patna, and in a short while from now, the Forest and Environment Minister Tej Pratap Yadav will be formally renaming this park, which was named after former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2018. And remember, before 2018, the name of this park was in fact Coconut Park. But after the demise of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the Bihar government renamed it as the Atal Bihari Vajpayee Park. But now, after almost 5 years, the state government is once again renaming it as Coconut Park, and this has led to a massive controversy with the BJP hitting out at the state government and also lashing out at Chief Minister Nitish Kumar for adopting a dual policy as far as respecting the former Prime Minister is concerned. Because on various occasions we have seen Nitish Kumar praising Atal Bihari Vajpayee and his work. And he also went to Delhi to pay respect on his death anniversary recently. But on the other hand, we see that the state government is renaming a park which is already named after him. So this has led to a massive controversy.
Undoubtedly, that's led to a massive controversy, given that Nitish Kumar had served as a minister in the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government as well in the past. How is the government there justifying all of this?
Well, the government right now is not reacting. It's only that we know that Tej Pratap Yadav will be coming to this park, and officially he will be renaming it. So the state government is on the back foot at this point of time. Now remains to be seen that whether this renaming event will go on, or is the state government coming out with any sort of a action plan as to what they intend to do. But this entire controversy has provided ammunition to the to BJP to hit out at Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, who on one hand we see keeps talking about Prime Minister, in fact the former Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee and his work, and on the other hand today we are seeing that the state government is renaming a park which is already named after him.
Rohit, I'm going to thank you for the moment, for getting us up to speed with those developments as far as our latest controversy is concerned. More news coming in. Gandhi statue has been vandalized in Karnataka. Gandhi statue vandalized in Shivamoga. One Mahatma Gandhi statue has been damaged by a few miscreants, is what we're learning. Anaga has more details on that. Anaga, an FIR has also been registered in this regard. Tell us more.
Sneha, last night at around 2 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. is when this particular incident has happened. A few bike-borne miscreants, they got down from their bikes and they've vandalized his Mahatma Gandhi statue, which was installed in Hole Hunnur, which is in Shivamogga Taluk. And now an FIR has also been filed. When I spoke to the SP of Shivamogga, he told that he does have a clue about who this miscreant could possibly be, and where exactly they hail from. But yet arrest is yet to be made, and once the investigation is over, the arrest will be made, and we will be able to get more details about the accused. But for now, in this Hole Hunnur, huge protests have erupted. People are demanding for immediate arrest of the accused. Whoever it was that vandalized the statue of Mahatma Gandhi statue, they should be arrested, is the kind of protest that is coming from the protesters in Hole Hunnur.
Anaga, getting us those details, I want to thank you for the moment. Karnataka, in Shivamogga, a Gandhi statue has been vandalized. An investigation is underway, is what Anaga is telling us. Moving on, ISRO has released more stunning images of the moon as we count down to the landing day. The latest images released are of the far side of the moon, captured by the camera mounted on the lander Vikram. This is the same camera that assists in locating a safe landing area without any boulders or deep trenches to ensure Vikram can touch down on the lunar surface without any challenges. As the landing is slated to take place on the 23rd of August, which is the day after tomorrow, at about 6:04 in the evening, 1 billion Indians are now praying for Chandrayaan's success. Prayers are being performed in some of the most iconic temples in the country for our ISRO heroes as the landing date comes closer. Remember, ISRO has aced the deboosting operation. The first round took place on the 18th of August and the second yesterday, which has brought lander Vikram to its closest point to the moon at about 25 kilometers. With every maneuver, the mission edges closer to unlocking the moon's secrets and deepening our understanding of the universe. Well, Russia's first moon mission in 47 years has failed. Russia's Luna 25, which was expected to land a day before India's Chandrayaan-3, crashed into the moon after spinning into an uncontrolled orbit. Russian space agency lost touch with the spacecraft due to technical issues with Luna 25. All eyes are, of course, now on India's Chandrayaan-3. Take a look at our detailed report.
As Chandrayaan-3 heads to the moon and will land on August 23rd at 6 p.m., there was another country aiming to land at the exact same place, the moon's south pole, but failed. Russia's first moon mission in 47 years has failed. Russia's Luna 25 took off for the moon on August 10th, a whole 35 days after Chandrayaan-3 was launched into space, and was expected to reach the moon a day before Chandrayaan. Luna 25 spacecraft crashed into the moon after spinning into an uncontrolled orbit. Russia's space agency lost contact with Luna 25 after a technical issue in the spacecraft. Measures taken to locate Luna 25 were also unsuccessful. The Russian spacecraft was scheduled to land on Monday to explore southern pole of the moon, which scientists think could hold frozen water and precious elements. Luna 25 was expected to reach the moon in just 12 days, whereas Chandrayaan is taking 40 days. But why is that? Well, the most important factor is the weight. While Chandrayaan-3 weighs a whopping 3,900 kgs, the Luna 25 is much lighter, weighing just 1,750 kilograms. Now that Russia is out of the race to moon, all eyes are on India's Chandrayaan-3. After successful completion of India's moon mission, India will join an elite league of 3 nations, the United States, Russia and China, to make a soft landing on the moon. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, actor Prakash Raj has crossed the line. He mocked India's moon mission by tweeting a photograph of a man in a vest and a lungi pouring tea, calling it first images by Chandrayaan-3 from the moon. At a time when a billion hearts are praying for the spacecraft's soft landing and the success, Prakash Raj is mocking this mission. This comment hasn't gone down well with the netizens, with many of them slamming him for his blind hatred and for mocking India's moon mission. Prakash Raj in the past also has been called out for his political opinions. He had taken a chaiwala dig in the past and had been called out for the same.
प्रकाश राज हो या कोई विपक्ष के, इन लोगों ने भारत की हर उपलब्धि को छोटा बताने की कोशिश की है। ये देश के प्रधानमंत्री को, मोदी जी को छोटा करते करते भारत के 125 करोड़ लोगों की उपलब्धियों को छोटा कर रहे हैं। चंद्रयान की जो उपलब्धि है वो भारत के लिए गौरवमयी है और उसको बार बार छोटा करना, भारत की उपलब्धियों को छोटा करना, तो मैंने जैसे पहले कहा, ये विपक्ष जो है फ्रस्ट्रेटेड है और किसी भी सूरत में मोदी जी को छोटा दिखाना चाहता है।
ये जो हमारे जो कोई समाज में रहने वाले जो विरोधी लोग हैं, इनको मोदी जी के बारे में पर्सनल द्वेष है। वो कुछ भी काम करते हैं, सुबह उठ के रात के सोने तक उनको सिर्फ मोदी फोबिया हो गया है। इसलिए मोदी फोबिया होने के वजह से दिन और रात, मतलब जितना अपना बीवी का नाम लेंगे नहीं उतने ज़्यादा मोदी जी का नाम ले लेंगे। इसलिए उनके बातों पे ज़्यादा ध्यान देने की जरूरत नहीं है।
वो ठीक नहीं है, वो देश का मामला है और चंद्रयान अगर चांद तक पहुंच पाता है और लैंड करता है तो ये भारत की दुनिया के अंदर इज्जत बढ़ाएगा। इस पे किसी तरीके की टिप्पणी नहीं करनी चाहिए थी।
It's time for a quick commercial break here. We're getting you much more news in just a minute.
सन्नी पाजी के साथ इट वाज अमेजिंग वर्किंग विद हिम। ही बिकम्स अ डिफरेंट पर्सन जब ही स्टार्ट कैमरा एक्शन। मैं बोलता हूँ आपको हार्ड एक तरफ, बाकी सब एक तरफ ले। ऐसा यूज किया कि यूज भी नहीं किया, यूज भी कर दिया। शायद वेडनेसडे को जाके देखूंगा।
Hello everyone, this is Anita Brito in conversation with the one and only Shyam Kaushal. Hello sir, कैसे हो आप?
हेलो, नमस्कार जी।
Firstly very good morning आपको। थैंक यू हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए आज।
थैंक यू, इट इज माय प्लेजर। आप लोग
आज स्पेशली हम मिले हैं बहुत सारी चीजों के बारे में बात करने के लिए आपसे। सो फर्स्ट लेट मी बिगिन बाय आस्किंग यू, इट्स बीन 43 years for you। हमने वो छोटा सा आपका क्लिप भी देखा ऑनलाइन जो आपने डाला था and it really touched me। So I want to start by asking how has been your journey this 43 years? What were the highlights of this journey?
मतलब ऐसा मैं देखूं तो सिर्फ एक ही बोल सकता हूँ, भगवान का जितना शुक्रिया अदा करूँ कम है। क्योंकि 43 ईयर्स पहले जब भी मैं गांव से आके पहले 1 साल जॉब किया, जॉब में कुछ नहीं कर पाया, तो फिर मैं स्टंटमैन बना तो मेरे को मालूम नहीं था जर्नी कहाँ पे लेके जाएगी। मैं तो सर्वाइवल के लिए स्टंटमैन बन गया था, पैसे मिलेंगे, रोटी मिलेगी, तो रहने की कोई जगह नहीं थी। पर आगे ऐसे जैसा भगवान ने डेस्टिनी चाहा तो अच्छे लोग मिलते गए, रास्ता दिखता गया, थोड़ा सीखने को मिला। फिर करते करते 90 में एक्शन डायरेक्टर बन गया, फिर अच्छे लोग मिले, अच्छे लोगों के साथ काम करने का मौका मिला, सीखने का मौका मिला।
1990 में आपने पहली साउथ मलयालम फिल्म
की थी,
उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए। एंड देन नाउ यू स्टिल कंटिन्यू डूइंग साउथ फिल्म्स, जैसे अभी रिसेंटली पोनी सेल्वन भी आपने किया था, 1 and 2 बोथ आई थिंक। तो प्लीज उसके बारे में बताइए, वो साउथ जर्नी आपकी।
जैसे मैं डेस्टिनी पे बहुत विश्वास करता हूँ कि ना, जैसा मैं स्टंटमैन भी बना, इट वाज डेस्टिनी। कुछ लोग जहाँ पे पेइंग गेस्ट रहता था मिल गए, लड़के पंजाबी, उन्होंने स्टंटमैन बना दिया। फिर ये एक्शन डायरेक्टर भी 90 में, मैं तो एज ए स्टंटमैन शूटिंग कर रहा था एक दिन, तो एक प्रोडक्शन मैनेजर थे, पहचानते थे, फ़ोन होते नहीं थे। मैं उधर चौल में रहता था, आदर्श नगर में, तो वहाँ पे मेरे घर पे जाके मालूम किया मैं कहाँ पे शूटिंग कर रहा हूँ। तो फिल्मस्तान में था, तो रात को तंबी का ना हम डायरेक्टर जो थे इंद्रजालम के, उनको लेके आ गए मेरे पास। तो उनको क्या था, उनके एक्शन डायरेक्टर आने वाले थे केरला से, वो बीमार पड़ गए, तो उनको नेक्स्ट डे एक्शन शूट करना था। तो तंबी कनाथ हम जी क्या थे, उनको मलयाली यूनिट था, तो उनको हिंदी नहीं आती थी, उनको चाहिए था जो आदमी इंग्लिश जिसको आती हो। तो मेरी उस टाइम पहली बार पढ़ाई काम आई कि मैं इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में MA किया था। तो
tired, down in the dumps. You can't pull yourself out of bed. You can't wait for the working week to get over. You're feeling tired all the time. Your appetite has gone for a toss. These are symptoms of chronic stress. Undoubtedly, stress is the culprit. In this week's episode of Health 360, we are decoding stress and also offering you solutions. I'm Sneha Murdani. This week, Health 360 is collaborating with the India Today magazine to bring you this story on stress. We decode stress. We talk about what are the reasons for stress and what exactly is it doing to our bodies. Stress is turning our lives upside down. Take a look.
Sharp stabbing pain at the back of neck, constant headache, excessive sleepiness. Many of us are only starting to discover what stress is doing to our bodies.
This is the most embarrassing day of my life, is not.
Few years ago, ABC News anchor Dan Harris had a panic attack on air.
I knew with rock solid certainty.
Have you ever felt like Dan? Anxious, breathless, and a sense of panic. Just panicky for no good reason. Well, the culprit really is stress here.
Yet people do not recognize stress as a problem until it begins to tell on them.
When there is more than the normal tolerable stress, then all these factors, high cholesterol, high sugar which is produced, high blood pressure, increased heart rate, and the spasm of the arteries of the heart also lay a foundation for developing heart blockages.
Doctors say the curtains have scarcely come down on the COVID pandemic, then India seems to be in the grip of another epidemic, a silent one at that, brought on by stress. In a survey of 10,000 Indians conducted in December 2020 by the Center of Healing, a mental health service platform based in Delhi, 74% of the respondents reported stress and 88% anxiety. Nearly 70% of the therapists surveyed documented an increase in the number of patient visits. 55% said there had been an increase in first-time clients after the pandemic. Stress is no stranger to humankind. It is perhaps as old as existence itself. The human body is primed both to recognize it and to deal with it through a combination of responses that make up what is called the flee or fight mechanism. It is the overreaction to stress where things start to go wrong.
It doesn't even feel like a music video. It just feels like getting a window into two beautiful people just being themselves. Was that the whole concept behind it?
It is. I was thinking about it for a while to do something like that, and then just just took a trip, shot a video, and I wanted to do more than. I wanted for my fans to be like, yo, I made this video for you, like for you guys, like it's just more like I can do this as well.
We don't need big budgets and those special effects and these big trunks. We can just go with a handy cam and shoot something.
Not even handy cam, iPhone. And I'm glad you liked the video because I thought I'm terrible at editing it. I was stressing out.
You proved yourself wrong.
Welcome back. We're going straight to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is issuing, in fact, a statement as far as the Rozgar Mela program of the government is concerned.
हमारे विश्वकर्मा साथियों के पारंपरिक कौशल को 21वीं सदी की जरूरतों के मुताबिक ढालने के लिए पीएम विश्वकर्मा योजना बनाई गई है। इस पर लगभग 13,000 करोड़ रुपए खर्च किए जाएंगे। इससे 18 अलग अलग तरह के हुनर से जो परिवार जुड़े हुए हैं, ऐसे परिवारों को हर प्रकार की सहायता दी जाएगी, उनको लाभ होगा। इससे समाज का वो वर्ग लाभान्वित होगा जिनके महत्व की चर्चा तो होती थी, लेकिन उनकी स्थिति बेहतर करने का कभी ठोस प्रयास नहीं किया गया। विश्वकर्मा योजना के तहत लाभार्थियों को ट्रेनिंग के साथ ही आधुनिक टूल्स खरीदने के लिए वाउचर भी दिए जाएंगे। यानी पीएम विश्वकर्मा से युवाओं को अपना हुनर निखारने का और ज्यादा अवसर मिलेगा। साथियों, आज जो महानुभाव शिक्षक बन रहे हैं, उनसे मैं एक और बात करूंगा। आप सभी कड़ी मेहनत से यहां तक पहुंचे हैं। आगे भी आप सीखते रहने की प्रवृत्ति जारी रखें। आपकी मदद के लिए सरकार ने ऑनलाइन लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म आई गॉट कर्मयोगी तैयार किया है। इस सुविधा का ज्यादा से ज्यादा लाभ उठाने का प्रयास करें। मैं आपको और आपके परिवार के लोगों को इस नई सफलता के लिए, इस नई यात्रा के लिए, अब सपनों को सिद्ध करने का एक उत्तम अवसर मिला है, तब अनेक अनेक शुभकामनाएं देता हूं, बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। धन्यवाद।
Moments after taking oath as a new Rajya Sabha member, S. Jaishankar is hit out at Rahul Gandhi's LSE remark. As Jaishankar says, old habit of Rahul Gandhi to spread lies. Gandhi, remember, had claimed land grab by China in Ladakh. BJP has hit back, calls Rahul Gandhi a Chinese agent there.
सर, राहुल गांधी ने सवाल उठाया चाइना को लेकर के, किस तरीके से?
देखिए, वो तो राहुल गांधी की पुरानी आदत है, इसमें क्या नहीं था।
सर, राहुल गांधी ने सवाल उठाया चाइना को लेकर के, किस तरीके से?
देखिए, वो तो राहुल गांधी की पुरानी आदत है, इसमें क्या नहीं था।
सर, राहुल गांधी ने सवाल उठाया चाइना को लेकर के, किस तरीके से?
देखिए, वो तो राहुल गांधी की पुरानी आदत है, इसमें क्या नहीं था।
सर, राहुल गांधी ने सवाल उठाया चाइना।
S. Jaishankar there, in fact, saying this is an old habit of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, given that questions were raised by Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party yesterday and in the past as well, and not just by the Congress but by other opposition members also, about how India has given up land as far as the LSE is concerned and has ceded land to China. This is, in fact, an allegation that has been denied by the BJP-led central government several times in the past as well. And politics has also broken out over Gandhi's remarks on China's incursion at the Ladakh border. Rahul Gandhi was in fact in Ladakh and has claimed again that China has grabbed the grazing land at the border. The BJP has said these are lies being spoken by the Gandhi sign. BJP has in fact gone all guns blazing at the MP from Wayanad. BJP MP Ravi Shankar Prasad has also hit out at Gandhi for allegedly levelling these allegations. Minister Anurag Thakur too has hit out to the Congress and highlighted that it was the Congress actually which never fulfilled the demand raised by the people of Ladakh. Other parties have jumped in the ongoing war of words between the BJP and the Congress. Uddhav Camp's MP Sanjay Raut backed the claims made by Gandhi. Lok Janshakti chief Chirag Paswan urged Gandhi to produce evidence if he has information about China's incursion.
मुझे लगता है कि राहुल गांधी जी को एक बार इतिहास उठा करके ये पढ़ लेना चाहिए कि उनके नाना के ज़माने में कितनी ज़मीन गई थी, उनकी दादी के ज़माने में कितनी ज़मीन गई थी, उनके पिताजी के समय में कितनी गई थी, और जो गई थी जिसकी वो चर्चा कर रहे हैं वो उसी समय की गई हुई थी। ये एक बार इतिहास उठा करके पढ़ लीजिए। नरेंद्र मोदी जी का भारत है, यहाँ 1 इंच तो छोड़ दीजिए, आँख उठा करके भी भारत की सीमा की तरफ देखने वाले की हम आँखें निकाल लेंगे, और ये हमने करके दिखाया।
सबसे ज़्यादा जो लद्दाख में ज़मीन गई वो तो नेहरू जी के शासनकाल में गई। एक कदम तक नहीं उठाया, इतनी सरकारें थी कांग्रेस की। आप ना सेना पे मानते हैं, ना आप इस पे जवाब दे देते कि हज़ारों स्क्वायर किलोमीटर चले गए, लेकिन किसी की सुनी सुनाई पे आप कहते हो ये तथ्य है, तो ये तो राहुल गांधी जी की सोच के ऊपर में ज़्यादा प्रश्न उठेगा। उन कितने वो परिपक्व इस चीज़ों को और क्या उनका व्यवहार है, ये उस पर दर्शाता है।
देखिए, जहाँ तक कांग्रेस का सवाल है, उसने देश में इस प्रकार का वातावरण किया था। इस प्रकार के जो हमारे प्रदेश हैं, चाहे वो नॉर्थ ईस्ट है, चाहे लद्दाख है, उसको कभी ध्यान नहीं दिया। उसमें वही कारण है कि वहाँ पर ना कोई कॉलेज था, ना कोई यूनिवर्सिटी थी। खास कर अभी तो वो घूमने गए हुए हैं, कभी कश्मीर जा कर के एंजॉय करते हैं, देख रहे हैं कि हालात कितने बदले हैं, परिस्थितियाँ कितनी बदली हैं। कभी अभी लद्दाख जा रहे हैं, मौसम की देखने गए हैं, इससे ज़्यादा उनका कुछ नहीं।
लद्दाख में भी पेंगवान लेक तक चीन ने अपना कब्जा बना लिया है, उसके एविडेंस भी सामने आए हैं। लेकिन अगर हमारे डिफेंस मिनिस्टर, हमारे प्रधानमंत्री ये बात मानने को तैयार नहीं है, तो लगता है ये भारत माता के साथ एक प्रकार से हम लोग नाइंसाफी कर रहे। मैं बेईमानी नहीं बोलूँगा, नाइंसाफी कर रहे। और राहुल जी ने बात कही है कि चाइना ने अपनी जमीन कब्जे में लिया है, तो उसके ऊपर प्रधानमंत्री हो या डिफेंस मिनिस्टर हो, कोई लोगों को गुमराह करने की जरूरत नहीं है, सच बताइए, यही राहुल जी का कहना है।
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is on a visit to Ladakh, reiterated that China has taken away the land, India's land, in fact, in this area. This has triggered massive political slugfest. Take a look at this detailed report.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Ladakh visit has raked up the China issue to attack Narendra Modi government. Rahul questioned the issue of border security. He accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of making false claims about China not occupying the Indian territory.
यहाँ पे तो सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि चाइना की सेना घुसी है और इनकी जो पहले जो ग्रेजिंग लैंड होती थी वो ले गए हैं, वहाँ ये जा नहीं सकते हैं। तो यहाँ तो क्लियरली सब लोग कह रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा 1 इंच ज़मीन नहीं गई, मगर वो सच नहीं है। तो ये तो यहाँ आप किसी से भी पूछ लीजिए, वो आपको बता देंगे।
Rahul Gandhi quoted claims by locals about the Chinese menace.
Over here the concern is of course the land that has been taken away by China, and people here have been affected by it in a big way because their grazing lands have been taken away, and also lack of connectivity here, cellular connectivity. So.
The Congress party was quick to back Rahul Gandhi and his claims.
पूरा देश बोल रहा है, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री को चीन को बचाना है। प्रधानमंत्री चीन को सर्टिफिकेट देना चाहते हैं। क्या मजबूरी है हमें नहीं मालूम। पूरा विश्व हैरान है कि प्रधानमंत्री किस तरह से चीन की ढाल बनकर खड़े हुए हैं।
The BJP government has countered Rahul Gandhi's claim and said that while the Nehru government was chanting Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai, China was encroaching on Indian land.
जिस कांग्रेस पार्टी ने हिंदी चीन भाई भाई का माला जप के 45,000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर भारत माता की धरती को चीन को दे दिया, अपने गिरेबान में झांके।
राहुल गांधी जी भारत को बदनाम करने में लगे हैं। केवल देश के अंदर नहीं कहते हैं, विदेश में भी जाके भारत के बारे में अनर्गल कहते हैं। दूसरी ओर उनकी चाइना के साथ क्या संपर्क है, इस देश की लोगों को मालूम है। चाइना की वकालत करने वाले लोग भारत में घड़ियाली आंसू बहा रहे हैं।
The BJP, which had earlier mocked Rahul Gandhi's bike trip as an advertisement of Narendra Modi's road infrastructure project in Ladakh, was quick to hit back.
Rahul Gandhi, why is it that whenever you visit the border areas, you say something, you offer a propaganda to China against India?
The government in the past has hit back at Rahul Gandhi over meeting the Chinese envoy during the LAC confrontation with China.
Now I ask people, if we were being accommodative, who sent the Indian army to the LAC? Rahul Gandhi didn't send them. Narendra Modi sent them. Okay? We have today the largest peacetime deployment in our history on the China border. Okay? And we are keeping troops there at a huge cost with great effort.
This political war comes just ahead of a possibility of Chinese President Xi Jinping sharing the stage with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the BRICS summit in South Africa. With Ashraf Wani in Ladakh, Bureau Report, India Today.
We have more news coming in. Well, a day after attacking the Congress over schools and the quality of schools in Chhattisgarh, which is ruled by the Congress party, Arvind Kejriwal says will attend the India camp meeting. Arvind Kejriwal, national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, has confirmed that will be at the opposition's meeting. It's going to take place in Mumbai. Listening to what the Delhi Chief Minister and national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party said.
थोड़ा बता दें, काफी चर्चा चल रही है कि मुंबई में जो ऑपोजिशन इंडिया को लेकर क्या स्टैंड है।
सो जाएंगे मुंबई में, जो भी बनेगी रणनीति आप लोगों को बताएंगे वहाँ पे।
थोड़ा बता दें, काफी चर्चा चल रही है कि मुंबई में जो ऑपोजिशन इंडिया को लेकर क्या स्टैंड है।
सो जाएंगे मुंबई में, जो भी बनेगी रणनीति आप लोगों को बताएंगे वहाँ पे।
Pankaj has more details on that story. Pankaj, in fact, questions are being raised as to what really is the equation between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress, given that Arvind Kejriwal minced really no words, while criticizing the functioning of schools in Chhattisgarh, which is in fact run by the Congress, where the Congress government is in place.
बिल्कुल, देखिए ये सस्पेंस लगातार बना हुआ है और इंडिया टुडे के सवाल पर ही अरविंद केजरीवाल ने इस बात की हामी भरी कि वो मुंबई में बैठक करने के लिए जाएंगे। इससे पहले आपने देखा कितनी लंबी लड़ाई चली, तनाव सा हो गया। अलका लामा ने बयान दिया कि दिल्ली की 7 सीटों पर चुनाव लड़ने के लिए तैयारी करने के लिए कहा गया। हालांकि बाद में उस बयान का खंडन किया गया और आम आदमी पार्टी ने ये स्टेटमेंट रिलीज किया था कि अब जो मुंबई में मीटिंग होने वाली है ऑपोजिशन इंडिया की, उसमें शामिल होने का कोई मतलब नहीं बनता है। ऐसी स्थिति में अब अरविंद केजरीवाल का ये जो बयान सामने आया है ये काफी अहम है, क्योंकि अब ये स्पष्ट हो गया है कि कोई सस्पेंस नहीं है। आम आदमी पार्टी जो है वो पार्टिसिपेट करेगी अपकमिंग ऑपोजिशन इंडिया मीटिंग में। साथ ही अरविंद केजरीवाल ने कल और उससे एक दिन पहले मध्य प्रदेश और छत्तीसगढ़ का दौरा किया और वहां पे जो कांग्रेस गवर्नमेंट है, बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट है मध्य प्रदेश में, उन पे लगातार हमला बोला। तो इस तरह के तनाव के बीच कांग्रेस की तरफ से भी जिस तरह से सवाल खड़े किए जा रहे हैं कि क्या आप ऑपोजिशन इंडिया के साथ हैं या नहीं है, वही सवाल जो दिल्ली में आम आदमी पार्टी खड़े कर रही थी वही अब कांग्रेस कर रही है। तो ये जो कहीं ना कहीं तनाव है ये देखना होगा कि ये अब कंटिन्यू रहेगा या नहीं रहेगा। साथ ही ऑपोजिशन इंडिया मीटिंग के दौरान भी क्या ये इशू दोनों पॉलिटिकल पार्टियों की तरफ से रेस किए जाएंगे या नहीं किए जाएंगे।
शुक्रिया हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए पंकज। गेटिंग us that report, confirmation there from the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party that he indeed will be a part of the meeting of the India Alliance in Mumbai on the 31st of August. Internal differences have now become the biggest sticking point for the opposition's India Alliance. Hitting out at Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal, the Congress party leader Alka Lamba called him a Mahathug. The fresh strain in the ties came on the back of Aam convener Arvind Kejriwal's election campaign in Chhattisgarh. Here is a detailed report.
tree of the anti-Narendra Modi political bloc, India, is once again under the lens. The Congress party and the Aam Aadmi party are locked in yet another fight. After Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal launched a scathing attack on the ruling Congress party in the poll-bound state of Chhattisgarh, questioning the schools run by Bhupesh Baghel government.
76 साल में एक भी दूसरी पार्टी को मैंने ऐसी पार्टी को नहीं देखा जो आपके आके कहे कि आपके स्कूल बनवा दूंगा इसलिए वोट दे दो, आपके लिए अस्पताल बनवा दूंगा इसलिए वोट दे दो। एक भी पार्टी आज तक नहीं आई। अकेली पार्टी है जो मुद्दों की बात करती है।
Alka Lamba is now said that Arvind Kejriwal is a Mahathug. She also spoke about the fact that 2 mantris of the Delhi government are facing corruption charges and are currently in jail. Alka Lamba had earlier claimed that Congress will fight Aam Aadmi Party in all the Delhi 7 Lok Sabha seats.
कुल आदेश हुआ है कि हमें 7 सीटों पर मजबूत संगठन के साथ हर नेता को आज से अभी से निकलना है कि जिसकी दिल्ली उसका देश होता है। ये दिल्ली का इतिहास बताता है, इसलिए कहा गया कि बिल्कुल 7 पर तैयारी रखनी है।
The Unity Show of India Alliance has seen multiple hiccups, with constituents Aam Aadmi Party and Congress Party often crossing swords.
हाँ भाई, बाकी स्कूल तो उसमें मेरे ख्याल से जंगलों में पढ़ रहा था बाकी हिंदुस्तान में। कम से कम एक आध उनको अस्पताल दिखा दो। हो सकता है वो अस्पताल ना हो, अंदर कुछ और हो, बाहर कांग्रेस ने झूठ बोलने के लिए अस्पताल नाम लिख दिया हो। जिस स्कूल में खुद केजरीवाल पढ़े थे वो स्कूल नहीं होगा, कुछ और होगा।
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने जो दिल्ली को विकसित किया, दिल्ली को अच्छे स्कूल, अच्छे कॉलेज, अच्छे यूनिवर्सिटीज़ दी हैं, अच्छे हॉस्पिटल दिए हैं, 24 घंटे बिजली पानी दी है, युवाओं को बिना खर्ची पर्ची के रोजगार दिया है। अब पूरा देश चाहता है कि वो सुविधाएं पूरे देश के अंदर मिले।
The BJP has been gleefully watching the war within the anti-Modi alliance, mocking its chances of survival.
And this is the first Rajnaitik Nikah in which the triple talaq is happening even before the Nikah has been finalized. Aam Aadmi Party and Congress Party are already at loggerheads, and therefore this is an alliance without any neta, without any niti. It only has no confidence amongst each other.
The internal strife in India bloc has also spread down south. In Kerala, the Congress attacked the ruling left government for financial mismanagement. Congress's K.C. Venugopal said Wayanad MP Rahul Gandhi can't be blamed for poor governance.
Wherever the necessity is needed, he is intervening with the central government. He is ready to cooperate with the Kerala government for betterment of Kerala. But these people are doing politics. The entire Kerala government is doing politics. On the part of that politics only, they are blaming Rahul Gandhi.
Will the internal waggling in India camp translate into advantage BJP? Bureau Report, India Today.
More news coming in. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has suspended the Delhi rapist Babu, ordering the Chief Secretary, in fact, to submit a report by 5 p.m. this evening. Cops demand arrest of the Delhi rapist bureaucrat. Arvind Kejriwal has indicated that they have, in fact, sought a probe report by 5 p.m. today itself.
उसको मैंने आदेश दिए हैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी को कि उसको सस्पेंड किया जाए तुरंत प्रभाव से जब तक इंक्वायरी वगैरह चल रही हैं, और शाम 5 बजे तक मैंने इसके ऊपर एक विस्तृत रिपोर्ट मांगी। मैं पुलिस से वो करूंगा, अपील करूंगा कि उसको तुरंत गिरफ्तार किया जाए। उसको मैंने आदेश दिए हैं चीफ सेक्रेटरी को कि उसको सस्पेंड किया जाए तुरंत प्रभाव से जब तक इंक्वायरी वगैरह चल रही हैं, और शाम 5 बजे तक मैंने इसके ऊपर एक विस्तृत रिपोर्ट मांगी।
Shreya is getting us more details on that, Shreya. The Delhi government forced to act after India Today reported on this man first, the manner in which he continues to be absconding. However, the Chief Minister says, I want a detailed report this evening itself by 5.
Well, absolutely so, Sneha. After the expose by India Today unmasking the Delhi government official Pramodai Khaka, who's actually been accused for raping a minor, impregnating her, and then her wife also being part of the criminal conspiracy to actually get the minor aborted. This is a very heinous crime. And where I'm standing right now, this is the very residence of Pramodai Khaka, where allegedly the girl was also staying for 2 years during the time period of 2020 to 2021. Now, finally, the Delhi government is woken up. The Chief Minister has ordered a suspension of the Deputy Director of the WCD Ministry of Delhi and subsequently also asked for a probe report. But as we continue tracking the reports, Sneha, it's unfortunate that the man is still not arrested. 13th of August is when the FIR was registered, but it's 8 days that has been passed. But even now, not a sign of arrest. We are being told that today early morning, the family had left the residence. So it seems like that there was a sort of a safe passage that they have got, because despite an FIR on the 13th of August, for 8 long days, even the Delhi police failed to act to arrest this man.
Be with us, Shreya. I'm going to come back to you for more on that. Preeti, in fact, is also joining us for more details in that story. Preeti, if you could give us an idea about what really has happened in this case as far as the knowledge of the DCW chief, Swati Maliwal, is concerned. She's been saying that I didn't even know about this matter, and Delhi police is to be blamed instead for not, in fact, arresting this man immediately.
Well, Sneha, while the blame of not an arrest being made till now lies squarely on the shoulders of the Delhi police, and as an FIR, as Shreya was pointing out, was lodged on the 8th of August. Having said that, it's difficult to believe that the DCW chief, Swati Maliwal, had no idea that there was an FIR against somebody who works in her own department since the 8th of August. One needs to also, somewhere down the line, highlight the fact Swati Maliwal has been one of the few the heads of a women's rights body who's at least appearing perception-wise to do the right thing in most cases. However, when it has come to her own doorstep, and these are questions that need to be asked of the DCW, can the head of the DCW actually say she did not know? And especially at a time where an FIR was lodged against somebody from her own department and over 10 days ago. The job of the Delhi police is separate. Yes, the Delhi police needed to have acted very quickly and needed to have made that arrest. But somebody like a Swati Maliwal, the chief of the DCW, where, she's always been so very vocal about so many incidents, and rightly so. And she's always seemed to have acted in the right manner. So one thing that needs to be echoed again is why the silence from the DCW chief. And why do I say that is, if an FIR has been registered on the 8th of August from somebody from their own department, what did public property demand? That the DCW chief hold a press conference, keep everything above board. The sheer fact that this information had to leak to the press for it to make the news that it has made. If 10 days ago, the DCW chief had admittedly said that there is a heinous crime that has taken place in her own department by somebody from her own department, and she's urging the Delhi police to take quick action, things would have been very different now. The onus would have been squarely on the shoulders of the Delhi police. It still lies there. But somewhere down the line, questions need to be raised. Why wasn't it red flagged earlier? Are we to believe that the DCW chief did not know that her own employee was charged for the kind of crime that he is? It's improbable to believe.
All right, I'm going to thank you, Preeti, for getting us those details. Shreya also reporting that story from Ground Zero, thanking you for the moment. Shocker from the national capital that we've been reporting on, and India Today was the first to tell you about the Delhi government officer who raped and impregnated a 14-year-old girl. The man on your screens, Pramodaya Khaka, holds the position of Deputy Director of Delhi government's Department of Women and Child Development. He's now been suspended by the national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal. He raped his friend's minor daughter several times between 2020 and 21. The official who raped the minor was her guardian. Not just this, when the survivor discovered that she was pregnant, she confided in the deputy director's wife, but instead of reporting the crime, his wife gave her abortion pills. The wife has also been booked for criminal conspiracy for her alleged involvement in the crime. After India Today's relentless reporting and in a big impact, Delhi Chief Minister suspended the accused from the post of the Deputy Director and sought a report on the same.
ये हमारे पास थाना बुराड़ी के इलाके के चलते नॉर्थ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक कंप्लेंट मिलती है जिसमें जो हमारी विक्टिम है 17 इयर्स ओल्ड गर्ल हैं, इनके फादर की डेथ हुई है 2020 में अक्टूबर में। उसके बाद इनका जो ये मास कम्यून होता है वहाँ पर इनके एक अंकल लगते हैं, ये मामा ही कहती है उनको, तो उनके पास इनकी मदर ने, क्योंकि वो घर में थोड़ा शी सबमिट्स ऑफ की कोई टेंशन वगैरह थी, तो वहाँ भेजा। 2-3 महीने का उन दिनों का नवंबर, दिसंबर, जनवरी का जो है गलत एक्ट का ये वहाँ शिकायत रही है। ये जो इसकी जो मामी ये कह सकते हैं, जो इनके जो लोकल गार्डियन थे उनकी वाइफ, इसको इसने बताया, तो शी टोल्ड ऑफ द रॉन्ग एक्ट ऑफ हर लोकल गार्डियन, जो हमारा अभी अक्यूज्ड है, जो लेटर फाउंड आउट टू बी डिप्टी डायरेक्टर इन वुमेन चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट में है। वो जो उनकी वाइफ थी उन्होंने इसको अबॉर्शन पिल्स भी दी हैं। उसके बाद में ये इसके मदर को इसने बताया, तो वो यहाँ अपने घर पे ले आई। थोड़ा स्ट्रेस, पैनिक, टेंशन में रहती थी। अभी ऑफ लेट अगस्त में फर्स्ट वीक में जब ज़्यादा पैनिक अटैक हुए तो इनको हॉस्पिटल में लेकर गई इनकी मदर। तो डायग्नोस के दौरान जो साइकेट्रिस्ट हैं उन्होंने जब अपना इनकी काउंसलिंग और इनकी जो मीडिएशन करी है उसमें ये बात निकल के आई है। डॉक्टर साहब ने पूरा कंफर्म करते हुए ये बताया है कि इस तरीके से इनका एक्ट हुआ है। इनकी स्टेटमेंट पे हमने पॉक्सो और जो रिलेटिव सेक्शंस हैं उसके चलते इस पे केस दर्ज किया है।
एक ऑफिसर जो WCD में ही काम करता था, जो महिलाओं के अधिकारों के ऊपर काम करता था, वही एक छोटी बच्ची को जिस समय उसने ये रेप करना शुरू किया वो 14 साल की थी, आज वो 16 साल की है। और वो और उसकी बीवी मिलकर एक तो इलीगली उसको अपने पास रखा हुआ था। दिल्ली सरकार क्या सोई हुई थी? लास्ट 2 साल से वो ये कर रहा था। और जब बच्ची सामने आई, दिल्ली सरकार का एम्प्लॉय अगर ये खुद कर रहा है और वो DCW के साथ काम कर रहा था, तो DCW जो कि हर दूसरे के काम में अपने आप को इन्वॉल्व करती है, वो कहाँ थी जब ये सब हो रहा था? उनका खुद का एम्प्लॉय ये कर रहा था। ये बहुत सारे क्वेश्चन दिल्ली सरकार के ऊपर भी आते हैं।
प्राथमिक रूप से हमको जो जानकारी प्राप्त हुई है उसके अनुसार बच्चे के पिता की मृत्यु होने के बाद एक चर्च के माध्यम से बच्चे का परिवार और ये आरोपी डिप्टी डायरेक्टर आपस में संपर्क में आए। उसके बाद बच्चे को इस डिप्टी डायरेक्टर के घर पे रखा गया। यहाँ पे प्रोसीजरल लैप्स इस मामले में दिख रहा है कि उसकी सारी जानकारी बाल स्वराज पोर्टल पे NCPCR के दर्ज होनी चाहिए। अभी तक हमको पूरे तरीके से भरे हुए जो फॉर्म हैं उसमें इस बच्चे की जानकारी नहीं मिली है। किस प्रकार बिना चाइल्ड वेलफेयर कमेटी के ऑर्डर के एक बच्चे को उसके बायोलॉजिकल मदर से लेकर के दूसरे आदमी तक भेज दिया गया, इसमें इस चर्च की भूमिका भी संदिग्ध है जिसने ऐसा करवाया।
The chief of the Delhi Commission for Women has said that she didn't even know of the case until it came to light today. She pinned the entire blame on Delhi police, asking as to why the man in question, the rapist bureaucrat, has not been arrested yet. India Today grilled Swati Maliwal.
I think it's a very scary case and strongest action needs to be taken against him. I think first and foremost Delhi police has to be held accountable as to why no arrests have been made. So we have issued a notice to the Delhi police. We are also issuing a notice to the government because we wish to understand, one is of course this means a person needs to be suspended, which the government has already done. But at the same time we wish to understand as to where all was he posted in his 20 or plus years of service and what all sensitive posts did he handle and what kind of complaints were received against him during this process, because it's very crucial to reinvestigate these matters in the light of this current very horrific case that has come up. You see, this girl is a 16-year-old girl. She's a minor. She has been raped as well as when she got pregnant. There are very serious allegations that this man and his wife tried to abort the baby, which has resulted in the complete deterioration of the health of the girl. So this is a very serious case. This man, who is working in the Women and Child Development Ministry, is supposed to be the protector of women and girls in the capital as well as in the country. There are women and girls who approach him in order to make sure that their works are done, and he must be having access to a lot of sensitive places, probably even shelter homes. So his conduct needs to be examined, and at the same time I really feel that some mechanism has to be created, because a government officer, these are permanent posts. That person has become a government officer probably 2 decades back. What action was taken on a yearly basis? What kind of an investigation was done? Whether this person is even prepared to handle the sensitive role that he has been given?
Survival in this case is still under, trauma, shock, and still under observation. How do you think that we should pursue this now, this case particularly, and is there a need of the hour to, to run some programs to create awareness, to gender sensitize at least government employees, and particularly, who are related to women and child, communities?
No, absolutely. There is a very urgent need to make sure that all officers, especially those working in sensitive departments, they need to be gender sensitized. But I don't think that a person who has a criminal mindset, somebody who can actually rape a minor girl, can be improved by any gender sensitization. So I think that there needs to be much deeper checks, because when you issue notices to governments or to the police for that matter, and you ask them that how many gender sensitization programs have you done, there is a long list of these gender sensitization programs which are probably many times done just for formality. But how does that lead to making sure that not a criminal minded person is not appointed in sensitive positions? So I think a mechanism needs to be done, and we are investigating the matter. We will look into it, and we'll be giving recommendations to the government on this issue, because it's very serious. It's very scary that over these years, probably he had access to, I don't know how, thousands of girls and women, and maybe he violated them as well. So investigation has to be done.
It's time for a quick break. Here on the other side of this short commercial break, we're getting you all the details of the massive political blame game that has started over the Delhi officer allegedly raping a teenager that he was taking care of in the city.
Southern states Karnataka and Tamil Nadu are locked in a bitter war over Kaveri river water.
all party meeting.
Amid mounting pressure from opposition parties against releasing Kaveri water to Tamil Nadu, Karnataka government has called an all-party meet. The Siddaramaiah government has also invited senior Karnataka MPs for the meet, which will be held on Wednesday 11 a.m. at the Vidhana Saudha.
Rains have been not so good. Ultimately, I think the flow has come down in all the reservoirs. So we want to discuss this issue and on witness it. We have called all participants.
Meanwhile, JDS has slammed the all-party meet, saying Karnataka had already compromised by releasing water to Tamil Nadu even before the Supreme Court verdict.
ಆ ರೀತಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಕರೆದೇನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 112 ಅಡಿನೋ 113 ಅಡಿನೋ ನೀರಿದ್ದನ್ನ 107ಕ್ಕೋ 105ಕ್ಕೋ ಬಂದು ನಿಂತ್ಕತ್ತೀಗ. ಮಳೆ ಆಗದೆ ಇದ್ರ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಜಾಗ್ರತೆ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಹೊತ್ತು ಕರೆದು ಈಗ ಮಾಡ್ರಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಈಗ ಕರೆದು ಏನು ಸಾಧನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಮೊದಲು ಸರಿಯಾದ ರೀತಿ ಇವತ್ತು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯೊಳಗೆ ಫೆಡರಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ವಾದ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕನ್ವಿನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
The water dispute erupted after the Stalin government moved Supreme Court, urging the release of 36,000 million cubic feet water from Karnataka's reservoirs for the month of September.
There is a Kaveri management authority. Neither the Tamil Nadu state nor the Karnataka state can take any decision on that. They work for their people and we care for our people. So it is politically, it is a quite natural thing, but still there is an authority and there is a decision as to how to share waters between the two states. It's already finalized and it is there.
Karnataka has now released 10,000 million cubic feet of water to Tamil Nadu. It has maintained that it can't release any more water as it needed to fulfill its needs like drinking water and standing crops in the Kaveri basin areas, citing monsoon deficit. The Siddaramaiah government has directed the Advocate General to file the state's appeal before the Supreme Court on Monday. While the politics and protests continue, the top court will now decide on how much water needs to be shared between the states. Bureau Report, India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Welcome back. Massive political blame game over the accused officer in Delhi. BJP netas and Delhi mantris are up in arms over whose babu is he. Slamming the centre, the Delhi minister here, Saurabh Bharadwaj, has said all the officers in the national capital come under the centre and that it is Modi government who missed taking action against the accused officer. He's also raked up Brij Bhushan's case, highlighting even how he roamed free in spite of being booked for sexual harassment. But tearing into Arvind Kejriwal, the BJP said the officer belonged to the Delhi government and that AAP is shielding him. Though accused Khaka has been suspended, he is yet to be arrested for the gruesome act.
पूरे समाज को हिला देने वाली घटना है। हालांकि इसके अंदर अभी तक कार्रवाई हो जानी चाहिए थी, मगर क्योंकि कार्रवाई नहीं हुई तो अब मुख्यमंत्री जी ने स्वयं इस अधिकारी को सस्पेंड करने के आदेश मुख्य सचिव को दिए हैं और मुख्य सचिव को कहा है कि आप 5 बजे तक इनको सस्पेंड करके इसकी रिपोर्ट दें। ये बहुत घटिया।
And we have some news just coming in. The Asia Cup squad has just been announced for Team India. Sources have told us KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer and have made, in fact, a comeback. These are details that we have. This far, as far as the squad is concerned, the Asia Cup squad 2023 is concerned.
Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya as the vice captain, Ravindra Jadeja, Shardul Thakur, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah. Slow. Still getting used to it. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Surya Kumar Yadav, Tilak Verma, KL Rahul, Ishan Kishan, Hardik Pandya as the vice captain, Ravindra Jadeja, Shardul Thakur, Akshar Patel, Kuldeep Yadav, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Prasidh Krishna. And Sanju Samson will be the backup travelling player. It's a 17-man squad.
Have you settled? Have you noted down the squad?
Yes.
Okay, we'll take one question at a time. We'll start from this side. Anyone has a follow-up question, please raise your hand again, and we'll come back to you if the time permits. We'll start. Okay, please. First question.
I just want to know from the squad that you've announced, how close are you to finalizing your World Cup squad?
I mean, it's really a no-brainer. We've picked these 18 guys, so it'll be in and around those guys. There's few important guys who are coming back from injury. Hopefully, all goes well with them. They've got a few games now, in the Asia Cup. So yeah, it'll be close between these guys. But fortunately, we have some more time. 5th is the deadline, and we'll get to look at the players. There's a short camp followed by a couple of games before we announce the actual squad. But yeah, it'll obviously be around these guys only. It's but obvious.
Rohit, my question is to you that how you see the role of the Hardik as a proper all-rounder or a proper batsman in the particular Asian conditions? Like Hardik, as you see him a proper batsman or a particular all-rounder who can be for the slots, all the shots. Like he can come in at any number from 5 to 8.
Yes, he can, and we have seen it over the years what he does. So uska jo role hai, it is going to be same. To bowl overs, bat the way he bats, and then field. There's nothing different that we want to ask him to do. What he does is probably what is required for us, and if he keeps doing that, I think the team will be very well balanced.
Rohit, still Asia Cup left before the World Cup, but do you think the lead up to the World Cup so far has been good enough and you go into the big tournament as hosts, as favourites?
No, I mean, honestly, I don't believe that thought process of being favourites and underdogs and things like that. You just have to play well to win the tournament, to win games. It is as simple as that. It is for outside world to create that scenarios, situations, underdogs, favourites. You have to play well. All oppositions will be here to compete, and they'll be here to compete hard. We know that. We do understand that. And, it can give you a little bit of advantage playing in your own conditions to know the conditions better. That's all. Nothing more than that. Even, a lot of these guys, the outside teams, they play in India a lot. They are very much aware of the conditions as well these days now. So there's, again, no such thing as being favourites or underdogs and things like that. I think as far as our prep is concerned, I think, this is, the right tournament for us to go and perform well, test ourselves, try and put ourselves under pressure, and respond to that pressure. That is how it is going to be. And that's how, it has been before the World Cups for all of us, even previous years as well. So it's all about just collecting everyone's thought and getting together as a group and getting the job done.
Ajit, could you talk about Tilak's inclusion? He's also part of the Asian Games T20 squad, which clashes with the start of the World Cup. Given that this is a 17-member squad, is it about giving exposure here, or do you see him as a real chance of even making the World Cup?
Yeah, look, I mean, like you said, he's part of the Asian Games. This isn't the World Cup squad. If he does make it, then that's irrelevant. So, yeah, but we've got the luxury of picking 17 right now. So, fortunately, we could give him. We saw some real promise. We've obviously known the potential in the West Indies. We saw some real promise in terms of not just performances, but the temperament. And it gives us an opportunity to take him with the team, give him, like you said, some more exposure. Left-hander again. And looks very promising. So, fortunately, we can take 17 here. It'll be 15 in the World Cup. So, when the time comes, we'll probably make that decision. But at the moment, it at least gives us an opportunity, gives the coach and the captain an opportunity to have him with the squad.
Hi. KL Rahul और श्रेयस अय्यर की फिटनेस को लेकर जब आप लोग सिलेक्शन कमेटी में थे तो लेटेस्ट अपडेट क्या थी और क्या अब वो कमेटी मैच पे कभी तक पहुंच गए?
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल. I think दोनों का long term sort of serious injuries. I think Shreyas is been declared completely fit. I think Rahul ka last kuch dinon mein not his original injury, but there is a niggle that unko hai. That's why Sanju is at the moment travelling. But the physios, I'm sure you all will get a report at some stage. He's expected to. We are all expecting him to be fit. If not at the start of the Asia Cup, maybe the second or third game. That's at the moment the diagnosis. But he's well on track. But Shreyas has been past fit, which is good news. Two important players for us here, and we still don't pick the team. हम लोग 5 तारीख तक World Cup की team pick नहीं करनी, so gives us more time.
रोहित सवाल आपसे ये कि नंबर 4 को लेकर काफी पजल चल रहा है, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, क्या बातचीत हुई है नंबर 4 को लेकर, क्योंकि अब एशिया कप फिर उसके बाद वर्ल्ड कप.
We've got guys who can bat at number 4. It's not about number 4. It's about top 3 and then there onwards, 4, 5, 6, 7 to get the job done. It's not just one position who can win us the game or win us the tournament. I think it's about the entire unit, batting unit coming together and getting the job done. There have been challenges, guys have been put under pressure and things like that, which is a good thing. But unfortunately, we've had few injuries along the line, so we had to try and see the other players in that position, try and rotate. There were a lot of players who missed out because of workload management and stuff like that, so we had to get someone else. And at the same time, try and, see what combination suits you. We tried Aksar at number 4, being a left-hander, go and play freely, things like that. So we've tried stuff, and once we get into the World Cup, we want to be rest assured that this is what we want to do. We've got 6 and 3, 9 ODIs, I guess, before we play our first game, plus the two practice games as well. So there's a lot of games that we have that we can give these guys to go and bat and make that position their own.
अजीत, a question to you and our question for Captain Nahar. अजीत, एक तो केएल राहुल के आपने फिटनेस की बात की, हम सब जानते हैं वो विकेट कीपिंग भी कर रहे थे. Is he that fit कि वो वर्ल्ड कप में या फिर एशिया कप में विकेट कीपिंग कर पाए? एंड रोहित, एक छोटा सा सवाल आपसे कि किस वक्त अगर हम बात करें इंडियन टीम की, तो इंडियन में कुछ ऐसे यंगस्टर हैं जो बॉलिंग कर सकते हैं. 2011 वर्ल्ड कप में ऐसे बहुत सारे प्लेयर्स थे जो बॉलिंग बैटिंग दोनों कर पा रहे थे. इस वक्त थोड़ा सा सीनियर प्लेयर्स में वैसा रोल हम नहीं देख रहे हैं. So do you see Indian team less prepared in terms of all-rounders caliber comparison if we compare it with 2011 World Cup? Ajit?
You're answering the bowling one, I'll answer Rahul ka.
Rahul ka, yeah.
No, I think obviously Rahul plays as a wicketkeeper batsman, तो इसमें कोई और कोशिश वही है कि फर्स्ट मैच से फिट हो, और उम्मीद भी वही है क्योंकि दोनों की, जैसे मैंने कहा, लॉन्ग टर्म इंजरीज थी एंड देव डन रियली वेल ओवर द लास्ट फ्यू मंथ्स. फिट होने को जो भी मैच सिमुलेशन था या जो भी देव गॉन थ्रू, ये छोटा सा सेटबैक है केएल राहुल के लिए, लेकिन वी आर ऑल होपफुल कि ही विल बी ओके. बट जो आपका सवाल था, ऑब्वियसली कीपिंग बैटिंग करके उनका रोल है टीम में, बट ही इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेयर, नीडलेस टू से.
That was the team of 2011. They had the individuals who could bowl, who could bat. जो आपके पास अवेलेबल रहता है आपको उसी से काम चलाना पड़ता है, और हमारे पास जो अवेलेबल है, जो बेस्ट है, जो परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, हम उनको चांसेस देते हैं. यू कैन नॉट ओवरनाइट क्रिएट समवन हु कैन बोल in the team. It is not like that. All these guys are batters and they've scored runs. That is why they are part of the team. But hopefully, Sharma and Kohli can roll some arm over in the World Cup.
Yeah, we've convinced them.
Question?
Chairman or Captain can answer. The question is, if Rahul supposedly doesn't get fit, Ishan Kishan has done so well in West Indies and have opened the batting. We have 2 form openers, Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill. So where does Ishan Kishan fit in if he's playing in the first 11? In the middle order, because he has played as an opener and scored runs.
Yeah, look, I mean, Ajit honestly has just come into the picture, so he's not had a lot of conversation around what was happening before that. Obviously, he's joined us recently, so I've tried to keep him updated as much as I can. But look, one thing I want in this team is to make sure that everyone is okay to bat anywhere. That is one thing that we need to keep in mind. It's very critical moving forward as Team India, not just in this format but any format, because cricket is moving in a different direction. You need flexibility. You need guys who can step up at any position. No one should be in the team saying that, okay, no, I'm good at this position, I'm good at this position. We want guys to be able to bat anywhere they can, and that is the message that has been conveyed to every individual. Not now. It's been happening for last 2, 3, 4 years. So I know it's tough for you guys outside to understand कि ये 6 नंबर पे खेल रहा था कल, आज 4 पे क्यों खेल रहा है, बट उनको मैसेज दिया गया है, प्रिपेयर्ड किया गया है. This is international sport you are talking about. It's not a club cricket that we are talking about. They should be able to go and bat anywhere, wherever the team requires them to do it. So it's not like कि हम रात को सोते हैं ये पोजीशन बोल के प्लेयर को सुबह को चेंज कर देते हैं. ऐसा नहीं होता है. उनको क्लियरली बताया जाता है कि this is what we want in this tournament. You should be able to bat anywhere, wherever the team requires you to bat. We don't want to be you don't want to be handicapped or stuck with one player batting in one position only. You don't want that. Of course, having said that, you want to get the best out of players in certain positions, but all 7, 8 numbers are open to anyone. Anyone can bat anywhere. That is the message that has been given to everyone since so many years. Like, I remember कब से चल रहा है ये बात. So it's not like कि हम कल सुबह उठ के मैच के दिन बता देते कि आज ऊपर जाओ, कल नीचे जाओ. ऐसा नहीं है. ये लड़कों को बोला गया है कि this is what the team requires. You should be flexible.
Hi, a question to the chairman. So was there any discussion with regard to Shikhar Dhawan? Now going forward, is he not going to feature in the scheme of things as far as selection for Indian team is concerned?
I mean, at the moment we've just spoken about 3 openers here. Rohit is not a bad player. Shubman's had a phenomenal year and a half, 2 years. Ishan Kishan's, Shikhar's been a terrific player for India. We know his record. We know what he's done. I think since December, I don't think he's been. Was his last thing. So, look, he's been a terrific player. But at the moment, there are 3 guys who are doing really well. So, you can only fit 15 in a team. So, unfortunately, sometimes somebody has to miss out. So, these 3 guys have been prolific for India. Yeah. So, at the moment, these are our preferred openers.
Nanda, go ahead. My question is for the selector, sir. What will you talk about the visibility to him? Were there discussions on him to be included in the Asia exploration?
Yeah, there was. Of course, I mean, he's again, like we spoke about Shikhar before, again, terrific performer for India. But sometimes it's just the balance of the team or the combination. You're looking at guys, Akshar Patel's done really well, who can bat as well. Kuldeep's obviously had a fantastic run at this point. And to fit 2 wrist spinners might be difficult. So, like I said, you can only fit 15. At this point, 17. Okay, we are a little bit fortunate that we can take a couple extra guys. But otherwise, to fit 2 wrist spinners, so unfortunately, one has to miss out. And at this point, I think Kuldeep's a little bit ahead of him. So, gives us a different kind of option, Kuldeep. And unfortunately, he has to miss out.
Yeah, for the chairman and the captain. Sir, was there a temptation to kind of just taking cue from her on the spinners bit to include an off spinner probably, just to avoid the situation of not having 2 wrist spinners? So was there a discussion around probably having 2 off spinners or even 1 off spinner? And for the captain, in the last 10-11 months, injuries have been kind of troubling the squad's balance. So now when you look at the team sheet and the squad sheet going forward, are you kind of happy with the squad which you have in place and you feel that, whatever you wanted probably in the last 10-11 months, that has come out in terms of fitness wise, like you have the best talent at disposal now?
Yeah, I'll be happy on the day of the game with that team sheet. Everyone's available. I'll be happy then. But yeah, look, I mean, these are part and parcel. injuries. Injuries are not just happening in India, but it's happening everywhere around the world. If you look at England, Australia, injuries are happening. But I mean, what we try and do is try and do the best that we can. Get some of the other guys to come and fit in the job, do the role, and things like that. When you have injuries, you can't really do too much other than thinking how can you get the other guys to come and do the role that the other guys were doing. That's all you can do, and hope for the best that the guys who are injured can come back quicker. Now that they are back, hopefully they stay on for a longer period of time. But again, I mean, I don't want to talk too much about it because it's kind of we want to look at the positive side of it now and move ahead with that. So that's what I think about when you talk about injuries. And I think the first part. Yeah, look, I mean, we had a deep discussion about an off spinner and about a leg spinner as well. Now, where the things actually boils down to is that batting option at number 8 and 9. We wanted somebody who can bat at 8 and 9. And Aksar being Aksar, he's had a good run in this year. Batted well in white ball cricket. Didn't get much opportunity in red ball, but he played really well in white ball cricket, especially IPL and things like that. He had few opportunities in West Indies, couldn't make it that big because he bats at the very back end of it. But with him being there, it allows us that option of firstly having a left-hander and somebody who we want to use up the order and go and play the spinners. He can do that for us. And then
17-member squad there for Asia Cup announced. We'll continue to keep a very close eye on those details. For the moment, it's time for a quick commercial break here.
With me, the fabulous team of Ghoomer. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to India Today Television.
Thank you.
First of all, I would like to ask you guys about your Indian International Film Festival of Melbourne experience. How was it showcasing your film on a platform there?
It was nerve-wracking because it was the world premiere of the film, and obviously even more so because it was a good week, 10 days before the film is actually going to release. And it's the first time anybody's going to see the film. It was the first time the three of us saw the entire product. So it was nerve-wracking, but afterwards I think I can speak for everybody. It was just very overwhelming.
Overwhelming.
It became difficult. I mean, not for Sayami, but Angat and I found it very, very. She shows no emotion. She's a true sportsman. I think first and foremost, what happens is at a premiere you realize that that's the finish line. Your work is done. Now the baby is someone else's.
Yeah.
So it's emotional for the team because somewhere you just know that the camaraderie, the togetherness, I mean everybody's going to get busy doing other things. So there's a bit of sadness of that. It's overwhelming because as film actors, we're not used to receiving instant live feedback. We work on a film set. Theatre actors have the luxury and the pleasure and the privilege of getting a live reaction.
Yeah.
We don't. That is possibly the first time you're going to get to see a live reaction. And if that reaction is nice and positive and validating, and it gets to you. So I think that and obviously the jet lag got to us. So it was a very emotional experience for all of us. And we were very sad that.
Balki sir, you tell me, where did this concept come from? As in, what was the inspiration behind Ghoomer?
Colleague friend of mine, Rahul Gupta, had this thought about. He had read about this Hungarian shooter, I think, and he told me about the story of a shooter who lost his right hand and kind of did this. And I didn't know anything else about his life, neither did he. Just said it was there. Said, it's a lovely kind of a thing, but how do we do this? I mean, if we want to do a story, should we research his life? It's nothing to do with his life. So I said, no, the sport itself must be something very familiar. So the achievement and the innovation because of the problems that the athlete faces becomes the center and not so much the understanding of the sport. So we took a familiar game like cricket and did a completely fictitious story, just saluting the person, because there's one other athlete who's done it in the world before. So we did this, and the actual decision to actually write this film and make this film actually happened when we discovered this ball called Ghoomer. It's a new ball in cricket. It's actually doing something new to cricket that hasn't been seen before. So sometimes when you take a very loved game and you watch it every day, you're not happy just kind of showing another cricket match on film. Why should I come to watch a film and to watch what I watch free every day at home? So we said we need to invent something new in cricket so that they come there and surprise and say, hey, we've not seen cricket like this.
Researchers from National University of Singapore have developed an artificial intelligence technology to read human minds. Take a look.
It's nice to meet you. Can artificial intelligence read our minds? Researchers from National University of Singapore say they have developed technology that can do just that. AI research participant Li Ruiling is getting ready to jump into an MRI machine for a brain scan. It will allow...
Good afternoon and a warm welcome to India Today. I'm Paulami Saha. These are the headlines we're tracking at the top of the hour. India Today reportage forces action. Kejriwal orders suspension of Deputy Director of Delhi Women and Child Development Department who raped a minor allegedly. Cops at Delhi Babu's residence to arrest him. Delhi Women's Panel Chief shifts blame to Delhi Police, issues notice to cops over delay in arrest of Delhi Babu who allegedly raped a minor girl. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka spar over Kaveri water. BJP ups the ante against Siddaramaiah government, stages protests against the government. AIA DMK chief EPS slams DMK over NEET row, cause anti-NEET hunger strike drama, says DMK Congress introduce NEET. Actor turned politician Prakash Raj mocks India's moon mission, posts picture mocking ISRO scientists and government. Squad for Asia Cup 2023 announced. Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul return to squad after injury. Tilak Verma gets a call for the tournament. News coming in right now. Delhi DCW chief wakes up to Delhi rape horror after big rape exposure. Now drama by the DCW chief. Shifts blame to cops, alleges delay in arrest. Maliwal alleges not being allowed to meet the survivor, not arresting Babu, not allowing me to meet the girl. Those are images coming in from the St. Stephen's Hospital in Delhi, where Swati Maliwal, as you can see, is sitting on a dharna in the hospital because the doctors have not allowed her to meet with the survivor. Now this because the survivor is not in a condition to speak to anyone, which is what they're telling her.
दिल्ली महिला आयोग की अध्यक्ष हूँ, मेरा काम है उस लड़की से मिलना। एक तो दिल्ली पुलिस 8 दिन तक अरेस्ट नहीं करती, मैं मिलने आती हूँ, जैसे ही मुझे पता चलता है तो मुझे मिलने नहीं दिया जा रहा। वहाँ अंदर बैठ के मना करवा रहे हैं वो हॉस्पिटल अथॉरिटीज को, तो उनको बोलो या तो दिल्ली पुलिस आए यहाँ पे मेरे से बात करने या हॉस्पिटल की अथॉरिटीज बात करें। यहीं पे करने में बैठूंगी मैं, कैसे नहीं मिलने देंगे लड़की से।
That is, of course, what Swati Maliwal is alleging, that she's not being allowed to meet with the victim, but the doctors are saying that the victim is not in a condition to speak to anyone. That's exactly why she's not
gone before a magistrate yet to record a statement under 164. Shreya Chatterjee is joining us at the moment. Shreya, we're seeing images tweeted by Swati Maliwal herself of how she claims she was not being allowed to meet with the survivor. But the doctors, we believe, are saying that the survivor is not in a condition to speak to anyone. In fact, she was brought to the hospital in the first instance because she was suffering from anxiety bouts.
Polemy, absolutely rightly pointed out by the doctors of the hospital that she's not in a condition to speak. But even if she would have been, the fact that Swati Maliwal is a Delhi government official and the person who's also been accused is a Delhi government official, it is conflict of interest for the Delhi police also to allow the victim to speak to a Delhi government official, because there will be all likelihood what Delhi police will come ahead and say a possibility of manipulation of evidence. So what we see right now is the Delhi police also doing their duty, which is correct on their part. They would not really want that a Delhi government official is coming and meeting one of the victim who's actually gone ahead and spoken against a Delhi government officer. So here is a conflict of interest also. If we do not just speak about her condition, there is conflict of interest also that the Delhi police has to protect. So clearly what we see right now, this video, it is untoward because the DCW was also awakened out of the situation very late. But clearly she is there at the hospital, but we are being told by the Delhi police that in all likelihood today the 164 statement might be registered, and we are only hoping that that should follow with an imminent arrest of this Babu who was residing at this very place where I'm standing right now.
Okay, Shreya, thank you so much for joining us with those details. Shreya, they're tracking that case very, very closely because the Delhi police has reached the residence of the Delhi Babu who has been alleged by this minor girl of having raped her over 2 years, and also now DCW chief who says that she only found out about the case yesterday, of course, when the media picked it up and it was out there that indeed this incident had happened, whereas the FIR had been registered on the 13th of August, but she did not know of it despite being chief of Delhi Women's Commission. This is Swati Maliwal, a video which she's tweeted out herself. She's at the hospital. She wants to meet with the victim, and the doctors are telling her that the victim is in no condition to meet anyone or speak with anyone. And moreover, as Shreya was pointing out earlier, this could be conflict of interest. She represents Delhi Commission for Women. The Babu who's been charged with rape is in fact Deputy Director at the Delhi government's Department for Women and Child Development. Now suspended, of course, but this could be conflict of interest. This is a video which Ms. Maliwal has tweeted out herself.
दिल्ली महिला आयोग की अध्यक्ष हूँ, मेरा काम है उस लड़की से मिलना। एक तो दिल्ली पुलिस 8 दिन तक अरेस्ट नहीं करती, मैं मिलने आती हूँ, जैसे मुझे पता चलता है तो मुझे मिलने नहीं दिया जा रहा। वहाँ अंदर बैठ के मना करवा रहे हैं वो हॉस्पिटल अथॉरिटीज को, तो उनको बोलो या तो दिल्ली पुलिस आए यहाँ पे मेरे से बात करनी है, हॉस्पिटल की अथॉरिटीज बात करें। यहीं पे करने में बैठूंगी मैं, कैसे नहीं मिलने देंगे लड़की से, करने पे बैठूंगी मैं, ठीक है ना। दिल्ली महिला आयोग की अध्यक्ष हूँ, मेरा काम है उस लड़की से मिलना। एक तो दिल्ली पुलिस 8 दिन तक अरेस्ट नहीं करती, मैं मिलने आती हूँ, जैसे मुझे पता चलता है तो मुझे मिलने नहीं दिया जा रहा। वहाँ अंदर बैठ के मना करवा रहे हैं वो हॉस्पिटल अथॉरिटीज को, तो उनको बोलो या तो दिल्ली पुलिस आए यहाँ पे मेरे से बात करनी है, हॉस्पिटल की अथॉरिटीज बात करें। यहीं पे करने पे बैठूंगी मैं, कैसे नहीं मिलने देंगे लड़की से, करने पे बैठूंगी मैं, ठीक है ना। दिल्ली महिला आयोग की अध्यक्ष हूँ, मेरा काम है उस लड़की से मिलना। एक तो दिल्ली पुलिस 8 दिन तक अरेस्ट नहीं करती, मैं मिलने आती हूँ, जैसे मुझे पता चलता है तो मुझे मिलने नहीं दिया जा रहा। वहाँ अंदर बैठ के मना करवा रहे हैं वो हॉस्पिटल अथॉरिटीज को, तो उनको बोलो या तो दिल्ली पुलिस आए यहाँ पे मेरे से बात करनी है, हॉस्पिटल की अथॉरिटीज बात करें। यहीं पे करने पे बैठूंगी मैं।
We're getting some more news that's coming in right now. That, of course, is an image of Swati Maliwal as she tweeted out herself. She, in fact, is at the hospital where the victim is receiving medical attention. She was brought to the hospital, remember, when she started suffering from anxiety bouts at the hospital then, when the counsellors present over there, doctors present over there, tried to understand her condition as to why exactly is she so anxious, what does she fear. That's when the truth came out. That's when she revealed the ordeal she'd been allegedly suffering for the past 2 years. Now, DCW Chief Swati Maliwal is at the hospital now that she's found out about the case, as she claims. She wants to meet with the victim. The doctors are saying in their wisdom, the victim is in no condition to meet with in fact, anyone. Shreya is joining us over the phone line right now. Shreya, as you were pointing out, this could be clear conflict of interest. Why isn't it apparent to Swati Maliwal? But because she represents an arm of the larger institution, which is under the scanner right now, this is not going to be possible for her to meet with the victim at a time. The victim is also not in a condition to speak with anyone.
You know, it's unfortunate, obviously, when we speak about, because these are incidents that you obviously try to react and suggest that you're doing your job. But clearly, there has to be law and order that also needs to be followed. In this particular case, we cannot deny that both Swati Maliwal and an accused in the case is a Delhi government official. So Delhi police will follow what the law says in such cases of protecting the victim as well. But even in the condition, she handles such cases sensitivity. So clearly, it is possible that the girl is not in the best shape or right now. The way she has been having her conduct in the hospital is not at the best of it. But clearly, what we like to hope is the man gets arrested quickly. Other things that we're learning so far is that both the couple, the deputy director and the wife is actually been detained by the Delhi police and they are being questioned. That is the thing that we're right now.
Okay, that's a big piece of breaking news, in fact, that Shreya Chatterjee is bringing to us right now. Shreya, stay on the phone line. So the couple, Shreya, has now been detained for questioning, is what you're telling us, both the husband and the wife?
Yes, Pauline, that's what we're learning, that both of them are right now in the detention of Delhi police. They've been detained by Delhi police and they are being questioned. Arrest is imminent. That we definitely can say, because the 164 statement is also in the pipeline. So no escape for this appeal. And this is the taking is coming in that both of them have now been detained by the Delhi police.
Okay, Shreya, stay on with us because that's a big India Today impact. Remember, we've been following this relentlessly. This Babu, who has been alleged by a minor of having raped her over 2 years. She was under his protective care. He was her guardian. He raped her and then impregnated her. When the wife learns of it, she allegedly asked her son to go out and bring some pills, which she then forced the minor to have and had her abort. The minor was under a lot of mental pressure, stress, anxiety, but obviously she in fact was recently hospitalized because of those anxiety bouts, and that's when the truth came out, because counselors tried to press with her, tried to understand her condition. What was she so fearful about? What was worrying her? What was on her mind? Why is she so anxious? And that's when she revealed what she'd been undergoing for the past 2 years. Now this Babu, who you see on your screens, has now been detained. His wife has also been detained. Both have been charged in the FIR, which was lodged by Delhi police on the 13th of August. And it's a possibility that as soon as the minor is able to record a statement before the magistrate, an arrest could formally also take place. Shreya Chatterjee, they're following all the developments. Shreya, tell us a little bit more about the case which has been registered against the couple and what happens here on.
Well, Palmi, if you understand the entire case, it will definitely be based on the statements of the minor, the victim. Now, what we clearly do understand that once the man and the wife will be taken into arrest after the questioning in the detention period, the investigation will, so far as the Delhi police collecting evidence in corroborating the entire incident is concerned. Because in this crime, this is not just done by the man, there is the wife of the man who's also a part of the criminal conspiracy to get the girl aborted. So clearly, Delhi police will first try to get digital evidence, obviously try to get where did the medical pills come from. So this will pan on for quite some time, but the first and foremost importance is of recording the statement, because in such sensitive cases, we've seen often the victim fall under pressure. So the Delhi police is also trying. And what we are learning right now that the Delhi police on 14th of August itself had given a notice to the magistrate to record the 164 statement. Unfortunately, the girl wasn't in the best of shape, as we've been learning. She's been getting constant panic attacks, and that's why it wasn't recommended by the counselor in the hospital for her to proceed with the statement. But today we're learning that in all likelihood the statement might just be registered. But the biggest breaking that is coming in, that both the accused, the man and the wife, they have been detained and they are being questioned by the Delhi police.
Okay, Shreya, stay on with us. Arvind Ojha is also joining us live right now. Arvind, आप क्या बता सकते हैं, क्या दोनों को अरेस्ट डिटेन कर लिया गया है इस वक्त और दिल्ली पुलिस की आगे की क्या कार्रवाई होगी?
जी बिल्कुल देखिए, डीसीपी नॉर्थ लाइव है इस वक्त इंडिया टुडे पर। सर, क्या अक्यूज्ड को डिटेन कर लिया गया?
अक्यूज्ड को हम अभी उनका इंटेरोगेशन चल रहा है और जो भी इसमें निकलेगा लीगली वो आगे हम आपको बता देंगे।
क्या डिप्टी डायरेक्टर और उनकी वाइफ दोनों को डिटेन किया गया?
इसमें हाँ जी, इन दोनों को भी है और भी जो इसमें हमें लगता है कि जो इसमें होंगे, हम इसमें इंटेरोगेशन चल रही है।
बिल्कुल देखिए, एक बड़ा ब्रेकिंग है इंडिया टुडे पर। फर्स्ट एंड एक्सक्लूसिव जो डीसीपी नॉर्थ है सागर सिंह कलसी, उन्होंने बताया कि डिप्टी डायरेक्टर और उनकी वाइफ को डिटेन कर लिया गया। सुबह सबसे पहले इंडिया टुडे ने खबर दिखाई थी कि किस तरीके से जो डिप्टी डायरेक्टर है उसने जो 14 साल की माइनर विक्टिम है उसके साथ किस तरह से हैवानियत की। उसके बाद पॉक्सो एक्ट और रेप के सेक्शन में एफआईआर दर्ज की थी। लेकिन अब डीसीपी नॉर्थ ने इंडिया टुडे को कंफर्म किया है कि जो डिप्टी डायरेक्टर है और उनकी वाइफ, चूंकि वाइफ पर भी एलिगेशन था कि जब जो माइनर विक्टिम है उसने डिप्टी डायरेक्टर की वाइफ को जाके इसकी जानकारी दी तो जो वाइफ है उन्होंने एबॉर्शन जो पिल्स है वो दिया था, जिसके बाद एबॉर्शन हुआ था। तो जो डिप्टी डायरेक्टर है और उनकी वाइफ दोनों को डिटेन कर लिया गया है और इंटरोगेशन की जा रही है। ये खुद जो डीसीपी नॉर्थ है सागर सिंह कलसी, उन्होंने इंडिया टुडे को बताया। पॉलमी
जी, सो बिग ब्रेकिंग न्यूज। अरविंद हमारे साथ बने रहिए। बिग ब्रेकिंग न्यूज दैट अरविंद इज नाउ ब्रिंगिंग टू अस। ही इज कंफर्म दैट विद डीसीपी नॉर्थ सागर सिंह कलसी दैट इंडीड the deputy director of the Department of Women and Child Development in Delhi government has now been detained by the cops. His wife has also been detained and they are going to investigate this further. इतनी देरी क्यों हुई अरविंद इस डिटेंशन में?
देखिए, जो विक्टिम थी वो मेंटली फिट नहीं थी, उसे बार बार पैनिक अटैक आ रहा था और इस वजह से जो दिल्ली पुलिस है वो 164 सीआरपीसी में विक्टिम का स्टेटमेंट नहीं ले पा रही थी। ये एक लीगल प्रोसेस होता है पॉलमी, जब भी इस तरह का कोई इंसिडेंट होता है एफआईआर लॉन्च की जाती है, लेकिन उसके बाद पुलिस ये कोशिश करती है कि कम से कम विक्टिम का मजिस्ट्रेट के सामने स्टेटमेंट हो, जिससे जो अरेस्टिंग है वो कहीं ना कहीं एक सॉलिड ग्राउंड बने, और शायद इसी का वेट कर रही थी और इसी वजह से जो पुलिस है वो वेट कर रही थी। आज जो डॉक्टर है उन्होंने ये बताया कि वो स्टेबल है, उसकी कंडीशन ठीक है पहले से, इस वजह से 164 का स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड करवाया जा सकता है। आज ही 164 का स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड कराएगी, जो सोर्सेज है उन्होंने हमें बताया है। और इन सब के बीच चूंकि दोनों अपने घर पर मौजूद नहीं थे, इस वजह से पुलिस ने इनको सर्च किया। उसके बाद अभी आपने सुना होगा जो डीसीपी सागर सिंह कलसी है उन्होंने बताया कि जो अक्यूज्ड हस्बैंड और जो वाइफ 120B में क्रिमिनल कॉन्स्पिरेसी में वो भी अक्यूज्ड है, को अक्यूज्ड है, उन दोनों को डिटेन किया गया और उनसे लगातार इंटरोगेशन की जा रही है।
अरविंद हमारे साथ बने रहिए। श्रेया चैटर्जी, my colleague, is also over the phone line with us. This is extremely shocking case. Now, as far as the Delhi government is concerned, of course, they've suspended the officer, but the fact is there is a lot in terms of accountability that the Delhi government owes answers for, Shreya.
Well, absolutely. There is accountability that needs to be pinned, because we always see reactionary statements come in after an incident has happened. But when we talk about a body like DCW, this is supposed to be protecting women. What are the tickets that they actually have? What are the procedures that they have to ensure that such people are caught way ahead? The big question yet again, Paulimi, that we've been asking, it is difficult for anyone to believe that an SI registered on 13th of August and the DCW chief did not know about today, because even yesterday there were media reports that had come into the light about this entire incident. Despite so, the reaction, the response time was very delayed. So that is a big question that we did sign the Delhi government and the DCW nap on it, because they are the officials who always respond at the quickest when such incidents are reported. But the only sigh of relief is that finally both of them have been detained, they are being interrogated, and in all likelihood an arrest is imminent in this matter, is what it looks like.
Okay. Shreya, stay on with us. Arvind Ojha is also joining us. He is, of course, at the DCP North's office right now. Arvind, इसके बाद की कार्रवाई आप कह रहे हैं कि शायद ऐसा हो सकता है कि आज ही 164 के तहत स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड किया जाए विक्टिम का। उसी दौरान हम देख रहे हैं कि डीसीडब्ल्यू जो चीफ है स्वाति मालीवाल अस्पताल पहुंची हुई है, वो मिलना चाहती है विक्टिम से। डॉक्टर्स मना कर रहे हैं कि विक्टिम की ऐसी कंडीशन नहीं है। उनके क्या राइट्स बनते हैं इस दौरान कि वो मिले विक्टिम से, मिल सकती है विक्टिम से? उनका कहना है कि मैं अध्यक्ष हूं डीसीडब्ल्यू की, मैं मिल सकती हूं विक्टिम से।
नहीं, देखिए, चाहे वो अध्यक्ष हो, चाहे प्रधानमंत्री हो, चाहे चीफ मिनिस्टर हो, डॉक्टर सुप्रीम होता। अगर किसी पेशेंट का इलाज हॉस्पिटल में चल रहा है तो उस वक्त वो पूरी जिम्मेदारी डॉक्टर की होती है, और जैसा डॉक्टर कहते हैं उसी के अकॉर्डिंग, चाहे डॉक्टर का स्टाफ हो, चाहे दिल्ली पुलिस हो या कहीं की भी पुलिस हो, वो एक्ट करती है। यहां पर आपको ये बताना चाहता हूं कि 13 अगस्त को इस मामले में FIR रजिस्टर हुई। उसके बाद 14 अगस्त को जो दिल्ली पुलिस है वो कोर्ट में एप्लीकेशन मूव करती है कि जो विक्टिम है उसका 164 के तहत स्टेटमेंट लेना है, लेकिन डॉक्टर ने मना कर दिया, ये कहते हुए कि जो विक्टिम है उसकी हालत ठीक नहीं है, उसको बार बार पैनिक अटैक आ रहा है। इस वजह से दिल्ली पुलिस ने उसका 164 में स्टेटमेंट रिकॉर्ड नहीं करवाया। यानी डॉक्टर की ये सलाह थी कि कोई भी विक्टिम से नहीं मिल सकता, उसको बार बार पैनिक अटैक आ रहा है। स्वाति मालीवाल 24 घंटे बाद, और खासतौर से जब इंडिया टू ने ये पूरी खबर दिखाई, स्वाति मालीवाल अस्पताल अभी पहुंची हुई है, और वहां पर जिस तरह की तस्वीर आ रही है वो अनफॉर्चुनेट है। किसी भी तरह से जो तस्वीर आ रही है, जो पुलिस है उसका कहना है कि अभी डॉक्टरों ने साफ साफ मना किया हुआ है, इस वजह से वो किसी को भी नहीं मिलने देंगे। जो डॉक्टर की सलाह होगी उसके अकॉर्डिंग दिल्ली पुलिस इस मामले में चलेगी, क्योंकि एक तो विक्टिम माइनर है, दूसरा वो काफी ज्यादा मेंटल ट्रॉमा में है। और इस केस का भी जो खुलासा है वो टाइमलाइन जो दिल्ली पुलिस ने बताया है कि जो विक्टिम है वो उसको पैनिक अटैक तो आ रहा था, लेकिन उसने इस केस के बारे में किसी को नहीं बताया था। लेकिन डॉक्टरों ने जब अलग अलग तरीके से उसका एक तरीके से ट्रीटमेंट करना शुरू किया, तो ड्यूरिंग द ट्रीटमेंट जो विक्टिम है उसने ये बताया कि उसके साथ इस तरह का इंसिडेंट हुआ है। उसके बाद अस्पताल से ही दिल्ली पुलिस को इस इंसिडेंट के बारे में जानकारी मिली। उसके बाद 161 का जो पुलिस के सामने स्टेटमेंट होता है वो विक्टिम का लिया गया, और उसके बाद पॉक्सो एक्ट 376, और चूंकि इसमें विक्टिम ने डिप्टी डायरेक्टर की जो वाइफ है उसको भी अक्यूज बनाया है। कहा है कि जब विक्टिम डिप्टी डायरेक्टर की वाइफ के पास गई ये बताने के लिए पूरा इंसिडेंट कि वो प्रेग्नेंट हो गई है, तो उन्होंने पिल्स मंगवाया और अबॉर्शन करवाया। तो 120B यानी क्रिमिनल कॉन्स्पिरेसी का भी सेक्शन ऐड किया है दिल्ली पुलिस ने FIR में, और फिलहाल दोनों को डिटेन्ड किया है। वहीं स्वाति मालीवाल के अपने अलग आरोप है, वो अस्पताल में पहुंची हुई है, जबकि दिल्ली पुलिस का यह कहना है कि वो लड़की विक्टिम जो काफी मेंटल ट्रॉमा में है, उसको कई बार पैनिक अटैक आ चुका है। इस वजह से जैसा डॉक्टर कहेंगे उसी के हिसाब से किसी को भी मिलने दिया जाएगा।
जी Arvind, thank you so much for joining us. Also, thank you to my colleague Shreya Chatterjee for joining us with all of those details, both of them tracking that story extremely closely. For the moment, of course, the officer concerned has been suspended and has been detained along with his wife. We're slipping into a very short break. On the other side, in the club.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi on Ladakh visit has raked up the China issue to attack Narendra Modi government. Rahul questioned the issue of border security. He accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of making false claims about China not occupying the Indian territory.
यहाँ पे तो सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि चाइना की सेना घुसी है और इनकी जो पहले जो ग्रेजिंग लैंड होती थी वो ले गए हैं, वहाँ ये जा नहीं सकते हैं। तो यहाँ तो क्लियरली सब लोग कह रहे हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा 1 इंच ज़मीन नहीं गई, मगर वो सच नहीं है। तो ये तो यहाँ आप किसी से भी पूछ लीजिए, वो आपको बता देंगे।
Rahul Gandhi quoted claims by locals about the Chinese menace.
Over here the concern is of course the land that has been taken away by China, and people here have been affected by it in a big way because their grazing lands have been taken away. And also lack of connectivity here, cellular connectivity. So.
The Congress party was